Bap, bap, bap,
Yay!
bap, bap. Let's get it. Come on.
Yes.
Welcome to Top 4. My name is Pete. I'm an Arsenal fan, joined by Oscar, a Chelsea fan.
What can I say? 5 games in, shambolic start to the season. In Lampard, we trust, but we move. We move is the only word I can say.
I'm joined by Robinho, a Manchester United fan.
Hashtag free Donny.
Free Donny, for real.
Free him, blood. I'm joined by David, an Arsenal fan.
I've just had a mare, you know. Still,
What's your mare?
We moved back.
What do you mean? What do you mean you've had a mare? What go on?
Man was meant to be recording audio, bruv. But man had the wrong setting.
Jeez. Is it starting now?
Yeah, we're good. We're good now, bruv.
We're nice.
We're good. We're good to go.
All right. Well, let's kick things off at Old Trafford. Manchester United 0, Chelsea 0. You know what I'm saying? What? A little bit of a ball slug, but good result for both teams, no? Oscar?
Good result is a bit loose. I think on recent form, it was very important for both managers to not lose this game. And I think if Lampard lost, it would have been very, very sticky. And I think if Oli lost, it would have been very, very sticky. But luckily now, they've both bought themselves a little bit of time by playing very conservative and just seeing out a draw. Boring game, probably the worst game of the season. But I can't be too mad at the result. What do you think?
Robin, what do you reckon?
When I say I have nothing to say on this match, I watched 90 minutes of nothing. Literally. Do you know what? Yeah, I have a couple things. I'm going to start with Dan James because he's a 100-meter runner, and that's what he's best at. And honestly, I don't know how he starts. What is he doing that in training that warrants a starts? Because let's face facts, he doesn't start for any other team in the league. Yet we're offering him starts. He can run. That's cool. But that's it. So I feel like sometimes I look at him, I'm like, dude, you're in the wrong sport. Go do some Commonwealth, go do some Olympics, and you will do fine. But as for football, that is not what we're here. Number 2, I'm going to move on to Oli. Now, Oli, this week has shown me something. You know how to use tactics. Because what PSG was a tactical masterclass. He came with a plan. He came with ideas. He knew exactly what to do from minute 0 to minute 90. And it was clear as day that United lost that game. So what that tells me is that, look, Oli, I can clearly see you actually know how to actually manage and you can actually do tactical things. So why the heck did you revert back to what you're doing on playing Chelsea? Where's Alex Telles? Where is Axel Tuanzebe? People that clearly deserve to start. So I'm thinking to you, what are you doing? Are you trying to purposely piss us off?
Was he wrong for starting the team that won against Newcastle?
Why is St. James's? Yes, that's just one team, but you can clearly see it's not going to work 24/7. Dan James should not be starting. Juan Mata only works in specific games that are playable to his strengths when it's low ball. Chelsea is not a low ball team. Simple as. Bruno Fernandes and Rashford, fair enough. Harry Maguire, Axel Tuanzebe clearly starts over him. Him and Lindelof are doing matters.
I think that's reactionary. I think that's reactionary, isn't it?
No, I'm just watching. This is what I see. You asked me how I'm weak, and this is what I'm going on. It's not like I'm annoyed at Oli. I'm just like, why do you do this to yourself? You clearly see that there's a lot of players that are better that should be starting, but you don't do it. And I'm just thinking, why? That's what I'm getting at.
Well, we've got a couple of comments here. Boss Like Endo said a clean sheet at Old Trafford. That's calm. Yeah, it is. I'll get on to Chelsea later. I think we'll start talking about Man United and their issues first, and then I'll talk about what the result means for Chelsea. But Lola O has said, I've been saying this about Dan James. If he wants to see this future, he should look at Fraser at Newcastle. Oh my gosh, Ryan Fraser is a shadow of what he used to be. But
one more thing, before I finish, because I don't know what's gone on. Has Donny pissed off Solskjaer? in some way, form. Like, why is the brother not starting?
I
Like,
got a theory on that.
there's a. He's clearly like our third best midfielder after Bruno and Pogba, but he's not getting games ahead of Scott McTominay.
I think it's clear though, Robin. It's clear why that is though. It's clear why that is. I think Man United have identified that in terms of the number 10 position, Bruno is their guy. Since January, he's come in. He hasn't really put a foot wrong. As in, I know Man United fans have critique about him and whatnot, but from a managerial perspective, he's putting up numbers. He's doing what he needs to do. Pogba flatters to deceive, and when he's coming in that midfield position next to Fred, you guys have looked loose. Like, you're conceding 3 at home to Palace. You're conceding whatever. So when he went to Paris, he said, I'm going to play with 2 players who their mind is on defense. Their mind ain't on going forward. So Donny, which is a great link-up player who can push the ball forward, is a bit too similar to Fernandes. So he's not going to play him. McTominay and Fred make sense because they're just going to sit in front of your back 4 and soak things up and keep things ticking over without no fancy stuff going on. So I see why Man United fans are annoyed, because in terms of creativity, McTominay and Fred ain't giving you that. But what they are going to give you is just the platform for Bruno to go on and shine. And I think it means that Pogba and Van der Beek are going to have to hold bench until they learn how to... Until Man United, if Man United had a better defense, is basically what I'm trying to say. If Man United had a better defense, they would be able to play a luxury midfield of Pogba and Fernandes, or Van der Beek and Fernandes at the same time. Right now, Ollie's like, let me just hold your horses and just tighten things up. Peter, what was your theory?
I think it's clear. Manchester United signed Van der Beek not because Ollie wanted him, because Manchester United wanted him. It's a classic case of they bought a player they didn't need. First and foremost, they didn't need that kind of player in there. If they wanted to buy somebody in the midfield, you're looking at a very much more rigid defensive midfielder, somebody that will break up the play, somebody that could win the ball, a ball-winning midfielder, not Van der Beek. Do you know what I'm saying? And it was one of those where he's a great talent. He's at Ajax. We should get our hands on him before he ends up going somewhere else and becoming amazing. Does that make sense? So it clearly shows to me that Ollie didn't really have a plan for this guy. This guy's not started a game for Manchester United from week 1. So it's not even like, oh yeah, all of a sudden, let's think about doing things more defensively, as Oscar you're alluding to, because I think you're spot on with that, Oscar, as well. I think Ollie has sussed out that, you know what, we can't just turn up at grounds or play against teams the way we want to play only, because we are going to get opened up. And is it that time to call it out and say it as it is? Is Pogba and Bruno, is it a case of you got to pick one or the other? You can't have both in that midfield, especially Chelsea, who could go out there and punish you in the fact they've reinforced up front. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, Oscar's throwing up the gun fingers, but you lot shot blanks, you know them ones at Old Trafford.
No,
and the chances were there. The chances were there.
The chances were there.
For United, not for Chelsea.
Yeah.
More for United, and I know we haven't gone to Chelsea yet, but I wanted to give a little bit of praise to Mendy. I thought he was really good that game, especially with the Rashford chance. Well, I thought that's 1-0 right there at the end.
Yeah.
So
100%. On Mendy, as soon as Rashford was thrown on goal, I said, yeah, he's feeding himself as well as the kids this week, because I thought that was a guaranteed goal. Like, I thought he was slipping it either through the legs or around him, but Mendy made himself big. So
you almost had a mare though.
Huh?
You almost had a mare though.
I was going to say,
he almost did. Yeah, he almost did have a mare. Yeah,
it was the first part of his game. He nearly passed it in the back of the net. I'm looking at this guy. Is he Kepa? Is this Czech at Arsenal? Do you know what I'm saying?
I won't speak on it. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. I was blind to it. It didn't happen.
I know.
and not gonna lie, bro.
In terms of the chances created, in terms of all the chances that were created, Manchester United should have walked away with 3 points.
Exactly.
Rashford's 2 chances. Rashford's shot against Mendy when Mendy saved it with his foot, I thought was a poor finish. And then with the last one was a top save. Yeah. So you can forgive him. You can forgive him for that.
The last one, you can't even call it a chance. Rashford just made that out of nothing.
Yeah, I said, I'm not saying you should have scored that goal.
That should have went in, and I'm saying that was a really, really good save.
Yeah, I'm just saying Manchester United should have gone away with 1-0 up, and that would have been it. Case closed. No one's really arguing. Because Chelsea, Oscar, talk to me. Why did Chelsea turn up at this ground? Like, let's worry about not losing as opposed to going out there and winning and imposing ourselves.
Because as I said when we started the game, if Chelsea lost this game, Lampard is under serious pressure. all you and I don't understand how the narrative is flipped so quickly. All you guys, like everyone that's criticized Chelsea, including myself, has spoke about the fact that Chelsea have been terrible at conceding goals. Last season, we conceded 54 goals in the league. Like, Peter, you waxed lyrical about how bad our transfer window was because we bought all these strikers and attacking players, and we didn't, in your opinion, we didn't shore up the back four. We didn't make our defense any more solid. And I think Lampard has had to prove that this team can do that. And now we went to Sevilla at home in a game, again, another game that I feel like we should have won, but we kept a clean sheet with Mendy and Thiago Silva at the back. Again, we go into United, the same thing. Another game where if we were more expansive, we definitely should have hurt them because let's face it, when you look at the two first 11s, Chelsea's first 11 was way better than the first 11 that Man United put out. It was only once Man United started putting out the reinforcements that it looked like a fair fight. In the beginning, Chelsea should have scored, man. We had more of the possession. We didn't create chances. We should have created chances. And we would have been 1-0 up if it weren't for some questionable refereeing. But in terms of what Lampard was up to, I think he just wanted to save his own back and he didn't want to lose. His main aim was to not lose.
But Oscar, why is it that if you defend well, it means we don't see you attacking as much? The Sevilla game I didn't see, so I don't know whether you lot were actually banging the door and you just didn't score. But the Man United game, you didn't bang the door at all. Like, you're saying that, Chelsea could have got a few goals. Maybe they could have got one, but outside of that, I mean, Kai Havertz on the wing, that pissed me off from the minute one. You remember that, Oscar? I was sitting there like, why has he got him out wide? Like, that, stop, don't do that with him. He needs to be number 10, and he will do his bit.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but it all depends on your philosophy going into the game. As I said, Lampard didn't want to lose, so he played a back three. When you play a back three, we didn't play a number 10. So, we don't have two strikers to do the 10 and 2 thing.
So play wingers there then. But okay, play wingers there.
No, but the thing is, when we play with that formation, our width comes from Chilwell and our width comes from Reece James. If you notice, Pulisic and Havertz were playing inverted. They were playing closer to the striker as opposed to out wide. You never really saw Havertz troubling Luke Shaw, and you never really saw Pulisic like on Wan-Bissaka.
Wait, hang on.
They weren't out wide.
Contrary, mate. I saw Luke Shaw giving Havertz problems. That's the thing. I'm a bit more like, what's going on? I saw more. Every time I saw Luke Shaw, or let me say, every time I saw Havertz, I want to see Havertz do something. Luke Shaw got the better of him, and that's not on.
I don't think that happened many times.
Havertz got the better of Luke Shaw.
I'm like, if you listen to my point, I'm saying they weren't head to head in this game. In this game,
what are you watching?
Reece James was head to head with Luke Shaw, and Reece James is the one up and down the wing.
I beg you, come in, Robin. I swear, Luke Shaw was
Fred. So I see both points really, because I watched Luke Shaw to the detriment of my soul. Yes, I do see the points where Luke Shaw was actually doing quite well against Havertz, but for me, I was more worried about Reece James than Havertz. Because to me, I think Havertz shouldn't be on the right wing. In my personal thing, I think he needs to be more in the middle. So I wasn't worried about him doing that stuff. Yeah, Reece James is the one that's constantly running towards Luke Shaw and giving him problems there. So I see both points really.
Oscar, do you reckon Reece James is so annoyed that there's no Olivier Giroud in there, so that when he's whipping that ball in, there is somebody to actually take that?
I think I've always said that last season Reece James should have had like maybe 5 or 6 more assists than he got, because he just plays those balls for fun. Like, he puts them in there and it's dangerous. But Chelsea players don't know how to attack the 6-yard box. I don't know why. None of them want to do it. Batshuayi, Tammy, Giroud, what's his name, Werner. They don't like to go in. So if I was him, I'd be very, very pissed off. Let me read some comments because there's been a few. Lola O said, Maguire's strengths aren't for a top team, low block only. Yeah. I don't think anyone could disagree with that. She also said Johnny is better at keeping the ball than Bruno. That's true, but Bruno has just been proven to create chances and score goals. So, like, if someone took,
he's more of a threat.
Yeah, he's more of a threat right now. And I know, like, a lot of United fans hate the fact that he passes like creatively, and so most of his passes are like missing target a lot of the time. But when he gets it right, it's more often than not. Like, his numbers, you can't really argue with. He impacts games for United. So Lola O is suggesting they stick Bruno at right wing and then have Donny at 10. What do you guys think about that?
It depends who's answer that question.
Say again.
It depends who's up front.
Well, no. If it was Sunday and you had Rashford up front, and then you had Bruno in on the right wing instead of who played right, Mata, and then you had yeah. What would you think of that?
No, I'll keep it a buck. I think it makes total sense because ultimately, Daniel James, you might as well be having 10 players if you're playing against a deep block. He offers you virtually nothing, and then by that way, you ultimately, hopefully, would keep Bruno's creativity and Bruno's sort of influence in the game. It may dwindle a little bit because he's not central, but hopefully it can be at a reasonable level. And then obviously you bring in, Van der Beek's ingenuity, clever movement, because he's got sick movement. I remember the Tottenham game where he scored a goal. He looked so offside, I couldn't believe it. But then on the replay, you actually see now, what, this guy, he knows how to get into the right places at the right moments. And then ultimately, the left-hand side is a toss-up between Rashford, whoever you want to put there, and Martial at top. So I think that makes sense.
David, what do you reckon?
What?
With what Lola said.
It's not. I don't. It's fine.
What was your take on the game?
Chelsea, I think I found their keeper. I think was solid. I like Mendy, apart from the Met. Same old man. Same United, Chelsea.
Yeah.
Do you know what I was more annoyed? I was happy Edison Cavani came on because his movement and his awareness was sick.
His movement
good.
He's
so good.
But do you know what needed this game? And this is why I'm so annoyed he didn't play. Alex Telles, because we saw in the PSG game his crosses are major. So all you really need, Alex Telles, crossover to Cavani. He's sending that in. And
I heard something Ari Tellers actually. Apparently, now I don't know. All I've seen of this guy is goal compilations. I don't know how he is sort of as a left back. But apparently, he's one of those guys. He can't. It's almost like a Marcos Alonso. He can't necessarily play full back. He has to almost play wing back. So you saw him to full effect in Paris because he was playing full back, but wing back. So obviously, like if he was to play full back against Chelsea, his deficiencies will be highlighted a lot more. Obviously, I don't know a lot about him, but maybe that's
what we also heard before signing him is similar to Trent, where going forward, the man could do the business, but going back is a little bit concerned. I haven't seen it. I don't watch Porto, but I'm saying use the strengths while you can. Stick. If it's not working, push Luke Shaw in, make it a back five, put Cavani up top, you get rid of Dan James, and then just go for it, really. Because it was, like I said, it was clear as day that we could do things when we plan properly during midweek. But when we just go back and revert to vibes, because that's what it is, vibes FC.
Yeah.
And Robin, I think he hit the... Oh, yeah, go for it.
No, go ahead, Adrian.
No, I was just going to say, I think the point on vibes, I think Robin actually hits the nail on the head because I look at Man United and I look at a team that's not really got an identity, not really got a style of play. They literally just got this game. I couldn't say what the lineup was going to be. I couldn't project it. They could go one of a couple of ways. I look at Chelsea, similar story, and I just wonder whether in the lineups they just, I guess, tried to sort of compensate for what they thought the other was going to do, and. Yeah. And I think for Chelsea and Man United, I think for teams of that stature, that's incredibly poor. The fact that neither of them have a feasible, tangible way of playing. And just on the Chelsea point, I didn't want to butt in when you lot were talking about Mendy, but I think when we sort of see Mendy, Thiago Silva and Ben Chilwell added to the defense, and you look at the facts that I think Chilwell and Mendy, I think I've kept Mendy and Thiago Silva. So I think in the games they've played, they've kept about 2 or 3 clean sheets. That may be sort of as testament to Lampard's point. Don't get me wrong, I don't think Lampard is flawed. I think he's poor defensively, but I do think Kepa was a big, major factor behind a lot of the poor numbers. Because you saw Mendy, and hopefully Mendy does well. The jury's still out on him, but you just saw what having a decent, competent goalkeeper can do, wherein in a few moments where he was needed, he came up and he saved his team. Yeah, that's sort of
so yeah, my final thoughts on this is... Ollie, sort your team out. Secondly, sorry, I just want to say that if Cavani can do that full season, which I don't expect him to do when he comes up and tries to make an impact, then I'm cool with him because I was very skeptical of signing him but he shows promise. That's all I can hope for. That's it, really.
But you see the Cavani signing.
Yeah.
Like, I think in the cold light of day, you look at the player, look at the profile of the player, what he brings to United. Excellent movement. He's finishing. It's not necessarily the best, but because of his movement, he's going to get the chances. I think in isolation, that's a top signing to come off the bench. The problem is when you look at the whole picture, when it's just like, United have ballsed it up. They get a free agent on the final day of the season, or the final day of the window, sorry. But generally, I actually think Cavani is a decent backup striker, to be honest. I think it's a 6 signing.
Yeah. I was never like, I know a lot of fans were like happy that United got Cavani on the last day, like it was a bit of a joke, but I didn't find it funny. I think he's a good striker, and I think in that system something could work, man.
Yeah, he is a good striker. Lastly, on this game, the transmission from Harry Maguire on Cesar Azpilicueta. I'm sorry, like, is this the UFC? And
the flipping camel clutch.
The freaking camel clutch.
The
You know what
camel
I'm saying?
clutch.
The sleeper hold, whatever move you got, like whatever wrestling move you can pick out the hat, fam. And VAR
The Iron
said
Sheik of Mykonos.
I can't lie. I thought he was gone. I genuinely thought he was gone.
Guys, what on earth is VAR doing? What are they doing? What are they doing? How could you not check that? How?
They did.
They didn't check it.
You know when Eddie Guerrero hits the hits the chair and falls over and dashes the chair over. That's what Harry Maguire did.
Honestly, David, we can't even call that a check, because if you've looked at that in plain sight and then deemed it not a foul, come on, all 5 of us here on the Top 4 podcast should have a job at Stockley Park. All 5 of us.
I can't believe they checked it. I can't, because I believe any single person with a football brain watching that would have clearly gone, bruv, it's a foul. Lola O has just said VAR didn't want to add to Maguire's pain, and bro, because we all know
retribution. We need something after the game.
There's no retribution. It's not coming. We all
Justice.
We all know, like Harry Maguire had a decent game, and at the end of it,
he's had a decent game.
He's got a clean sheet, and he's getting applauded off and all this and that. But we know for a fact, if that penalty was given, that the Harry Maguire news story cycle will be going around again. If Man United lost 1-0 from a penalty like that, bruv, it would be horrible. Sky Sports wouldn't stop talking about him all day today. Do you know what I mean? That's what it would be.
What do you reckon? What you reckon? It's an Illuminati thing. It's like, look, we need to hold the guy. Like, we need to hold him. Because if we get on it, like, because look, bro, there's another game we're gonna get onto where I couldn't believe the fact that VAR did not overturn this decision, and I was sitting there thinking, nah, Illuminati is in full force, because there are certain people, certain profiles have to be protected in the game, because if they're getting slandered and slaughtered like this, then it's like, oh snap, we've been exposed to it all. But this was incredible.
If I talk about it for too long, I will get mad, because I have to look at the game for what it was. It was a draw and it was a fair result. If I look at it like Chelsea got robbed, I'll just be mad all day, because the
thing with calling it robbed is that you don't guarantee you're going to score the penalty. So it's still a bit of a. Do you know what I'm saying? It's still a bit of a you ruined us a chance from winning the game. Put it that way, or scoring. A goal scoring opportunity.
If as far as I'm concerned, that should have been a red. But anyway, a couple more comments. Lola O said, "I need Mendy to do well for black keepers all over the world."
Listen. First of all, listen. Have you ever watched the Africa Cup of Nations? Have you ever watched that tournament? Because let me tell you something right now. No, let me tell you something right now. Faith in Mendy, I have none. Shall I tell you why? Because number one, listen, I'm all Team Africa. I'm all for it. As long as they play well, as long as they do well. Guys, we're in October. Man, I'm talking about competence goalkeeping. Man, I'm talking about, If we got Mendy and Thiago and Rere, what the heck's the matter with all of you lot? Have you not watched the Premier League before?
No,
have you not seen how a whole season goes forward? I don't want to hear you defend it, Robin. No.
I'm with you.
I'm going to speak my piece on Mendy, because all I heard was nice things earlier on about Mendy, and all I've heard this season is nice things. Let me tell you something about African goalkeepers. We've been here before. You can A all you want. Listen, that's the problem. With defending. We're hoping he breaks the curse.
I'm not involved in this.
We're hoping he breaks the curse.
Bruv, what are you doing, Peter?
We're hoping he breaks the curse. We're hoping he breaks the curse.
Sam said, no AFCON slander here, bruv.
Listen. I big up Sam. Yeah. What's his thing called with the African footballers and
Reveal,
everything there?
Reveal.
Yeah. I big up Reveal football.
They bring up all the stats when it comes to
all
Africa.
day long.
And Peter, you need to know.
Listen to what I said. Listen to what I said. I want him to break the curse. I do. Unfortunately, he's at Chelsea, so I kind of don't want him to break that curse anyway. But what I'm saying is let's just pump the frigging brakes.
No,
Shall I say why?
No,
Oscar, hold it. No, Oscar, wait. Let me finish. Hold it, because we're talking about a guy who's doing better than frigging Kepa. Any goalkeeper in the league is doing better than Kepa at Chelsea with Thiago Silva and so on and so forth. So I'm just saying, by the way, that back pass where you nearly put it in the net, yeah, I'm telling you, that moment made me realize, hold on a second, everyone, let's just slow it down. Because you know what? Can I tell you something? Can I be honest with you? I saw that that's a mistake in him like that one. So I'm not quick. I'm not quick to jump on his side.
First of all, in retort to that, Lola O has also said, "Oi, Peter, you need to chill, capital chill." Yeah,
don't worry, I'll wait.
Also, Peter, you've reacted as though people are calling him world class. People are saying he's a great keeper. No one said that. We've simply applauded the fact that he made 2 or 3 great saves against Manchester United, and he did the same thing against Sevilla, and he kept a clean sheet against Crystal Palace. These are things that we would applaud any goalkeeper for doing. Like any single
I don't hear
goalkeeper.
that about Leno. Hang on a minute. I don't hear you saying about Leno.
Should we talk about Leno?
Exactly.
No.
Look how you're coming for him. Look how you're coming for him. Look how you're coming for him, bro. First of all, but somebody like Leno, who's been like arguably Arsenal's best goalkeeper or best player, let's say, for the last 2 seasons or even 3 seasons, right? He's been phenomenal. All I've heard come out your frigging mouth with your dirty keeper. Hang on, with your dirty old keeper and your dirty reserve keeper as well. And then this trailer park that's coming from this unemployed frigging goalkeeper that's come from, where was it? Rennes. Yeah, and then you want to talk about my goalkeeper. Listen, I'm keeping the energy the same. You're saying disgusting. You need to keep that same energy that you're giving Leno to every single goalkeeper that you have seen. So all I'm saying is just relax, hold it down. That's all I'm saying. I'm not here to wax lyrical about him because he made a save against Marcus Rashford, blood. That's not what I'm here for. Oh, clean sheet against Palace. Clean sheet against Palace. What, Oscar, do you know why? Because I didn't hear you say a word about Leno. All I hear from you is about his mistakes. All I hear from you is about his mistakes. Yeah. I wish your blue tinted glasses would have the same reflection on Mendy.
Peter, look, today, let me give you a little inside scoop, yeah? Today, me and Peter were watching Sky Sports, yeah? And they showed some old Tottenham game where Leno made an excellent double save. And what did I say to you, Peter? I said, that's a brilliant save from Leno. All I've ever said about Leno, I've never said he's a rubbish keeper. I've never said he's bad. All I've said is he's got mistakes in him. And you've continuously denied that. Lola came on here last week and agreed with me that he's got mistakes in him. And then
you've never said he's a bad goalkeeper.
He proved that he's got mistakes in him.
You never said he's a bad goalkeeper.
I said he's got mistakes in him. Oh, go back to last week and listen to the episode. Go back and listen. It's on wax, bro. It's all on the internet.
I know it's on wax. That's my point.
All I said
the last 2 seasons, you've been talking smack about Bernd Leno
because he has mistakes in him, and you deny it every week.
So hang on. So wait, and Kepa, what have you said about Kepa?
Kepa's trash.
Said about Kepa? Now he's trash. Robin, have you heard Oscar call Kepa trash? Have you heard it?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
Okay.
No, we all have. No, we all
Oscar
have.
calling Kepa trash.
No, bro. No. Peter, no. You're moving mad there. No, we all have. We all have heard Oscar say that.
I apologize to all of you. Did I not apologize to all of you for
Yeah, you're right. My bad.
I apologize.
My bad. You're right.
He's trash.
My bad. You're right.
All right, let me move on to more comments because Ryan, you got the team talking, bro. Dennis Park says, if you talk about black goalkeepers and African Cup of Nations, keep in mind Thomas Nkono. Do you guys know him? Italian 90. Apparently Italian 90.
Thomas Nkono. No, he escapes my mind. Sorry, he escapes my mind.
I actually don't know. I'm assuming Cameroon because I know they were doing bits.
That's beyond me.
Yeah.
I wasn't even born then.
I want to bounce.
Was the internet even born by then?
Probably not. Boss at Endo said Peter is too funny. Oscar got stuck on again, as per usual. He's shouting and ranting. Lula O says, Peter, go drink some water or something.
Don't worry, I'll sip. Listen, in May, I'll have the Moet. I'll be sipping nice. Don't worry, it's a long
See,
game.
what
It's a long game.
Yeah, I'll finish the comments, but I do have something to say.
Peter, you're sweating. Relax, blood. Yeah, go through, Robin.
I was gonna say, I agree with Pete on this point. Like, even I get mad, but then I have to remind myself we're 5 games in. Like, it is just a start.
Yeah.
And when you see your team doing stupidness, and it's like, oh, it's just gonna be repeated the whole season. The season is still long. The fact that we got Europe weekly, like, I was like, I'm facing Leipzig in 2 days. Did I not just face PSG?
For real.
I'm with you. People are getting carried away over these 5 games and starting calling players better than they are and doing this and that. But as far as I'm concerned, nobody has done that for Mendy. Lola said, I need Mendy to do well. That's all she said. And you
literally.
Man took it and ran to the River Thames.
Anyway,
the thing is, as well though, but he's Chelsea. The truth of the matter is, I don't want him to do well because he's Chelsea.
So why
That's the truth of the matter.
If it's just Chelsea,
What I'm saying is,
you went mad. You saw red.
Because name me a good. Okay, name me one good African goalkeeper. Go.
Thomas and Connor.
Thomas.
Vincent and Yema.
Right? Big up Skepta. Yeah, for real. Vincent and Yema was hard. I ain't gonna lie. But you know what I'm saying. Well, listen, we had Mandanda at Palace, blood. Never again. Did 6 months. Never again.
Okay. Last thing on the game. Let's move on. Boss Endo said last year Chelsea went to OT and played attacking and they lost 4-0. Yeah, Chelsea fans just need to relax, bruv. Everyone's so amped that we can't score goals at the moment. It's calm. We've already bagged bare goals in the league. We will score goals in the future. We just need to sort out the balance, yeah? Let Lampard do his thing.
100%.
The balance.
And I think that's a sick point that Oscar makes, like, because I think Lampard has shown 2 extremes of his game. So now it's like, he can defend all right. We haven't got an attacking threat. So now what he has to try and do is defend good and attack good, and he should be in a lot better position.
Peter,
do you believe he'll get it? Do you believe he'll get there?
Who, Lampard?
Yeah, to Adrian. Like, do you believe? Not to Oscar. I know you. I'm saying to Adrian. Do you believe he'll get the balance?
I think it remains to be seen, because ultimately I haven't made a verdict on his coaching ability, because like last season, honestly, I gave him a free hit, and for me it was a case of, all right, you've got a whole bunch. Don't get me wrong, you've got a decent team, but you got essentially a core for the championship. Do what you can, and you saw some good, you saw some not so good. So now this season ultimately is where it kind of has to come together. He's been backed. He's got like £200 million plus on his front line. Ultimately, what that needs to translate to is Chelsea winning games convincingly. And let's see how it goes. I've seen, I think of the Wolves game last season at Molineux, where he sort of adapted his tactics, and I think it's fair to say got it right. Then I can think of some other moments or other parts of his game, i.e., defending set pieces, where he's been completely and utterly atrocious. So I'm watching him, and let's see if Frank Lampard can actually coach. So to sit on the fence, I can't give you an answer. Personally, I don't necessarily think he's got what it takes to be a top level manager, but he's shown some of the minimals anyway. But personally, the answer to your question would be no. I see him getting sacked.
Peter, I've got to get to these comments because these people have listed all the African goalkeepers. First off, Dennis Breitenbach says, yes, Cameroon. That's definitely not how you spell Cameroon, but cool. Cameroon, yes.
It's not English. It's not English.
First language.
It's not his first language. We can allow it.
Is that how you spell Cameroon in another language?
I don't know. Do you know what? I hope that's how it is in German. That would be sick. If that's how you spell it, I'll be like, yes.
So. I mean, he said, you guys need to watch him. Buffon once said he's the reason he became what he is. By far the best African goalie. The guy is a legend.
Nice.
Sam said Vincent Nyema, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. B Arsenal Guna said Oscar, African goalkeepers are freestylers who have no cardio. What is it? What is going on? He said Mendy can only play for himself, not other goalkeepers.
Yeah.
What?
I was not ready for that. Oscar said I was getting ripped. Yeah, I was waiting for. I was seeing the comments coming. I'm like, yo, where's this one?
Lola O says Onana is good at Ajax. Chelsea were actually in for Onana. Didn't pick him up.
Oh yeah, that's a shout. Actually, he's sick.
We've got some more Onana, Charles Kameni.
Football manager legend, bro.
Espanol legend.
That one's in it.
Shout out to Marley Mo. I believe that's the first time we had a comment from Marley Mo. He also says Mandanda. Yeah, good goalkeeper.
Listen, yeah, in France, yes.
On the precipice.
Yeah. On the precipice.
No, because he signed for France, innit? He played for France.
Yeah. He was a good goalkeeper. Don't get me wrong, but as in when he came to Palace, he came to hit in the French league, in the English league. I'm sitting there like, yo, brother, you weren't here for me.
It was a good keeper though.
Dennis Breitenbach said Tim Howard wasn't the worst.
Tim Howard?
He's definitely not African.
He was
Yeah, but I was like, Tim Howard.
Well, I
First
think
of
you're
all-
thinking of African American. More so.
First of all, Tim Howard? That's your defense?
Also, he was terrible.
Tim Howard.
I mean, he wasn't terrible, but when he went to Man United, bruv, you know when the light is shone, yeah, and certain man frail. That was what happened to him.
He was good enough for Everton. When he moved to Everton, that was the right move for him. They nearly won an FA Cup with him in goal. Yeah. Ali Mo said David and Pedro. We're going to get on to Arsenal. Should we go there? Should we go there?
Hold on. Dennis Breitenbach said, yeah, that's how you say it in German.
Yes, he's okay.
Big up. That's sick. That is sick.
That's fine.
That is sick.
My bad, Dennis. I doubted you. I'm sorry. Now, Marley Mo has said David and Pedro. What's happened to Arsenal? I think certain players are siding with Ozil and downing tools for his treatment. I mean, they think about their friends outside of football.
David,
As I
kick off.
As I said
David,
last,
kick off.
yeah? Is this what he learned under Guardiola? Wait. Last week, Aubameyang was on the left. This week, he was on the right. Are you taking the piss, blood?
Why was he on the
David,
right?
quick question. What have you seen? What from Pep Guardiola have you seen in Arteta's approach?
Nothing.
Can I tell you? No, can I tell you what it is?
What is it?
Stubbornness. It's stubbornness. It is this thing of this is the way I want to play, and it's going to happen, and that is fine.
Oh, just the Spanish way.
Can I put my hand up?
Put your hand up.
You called him stubborn. I'm not disagreeing with you, but he did play a different formation in this game. He didn't stick to what he's been doing so far in the Premier League this season against Leicester.
Do you want to know what I mean by stubborn?
Go on.
Number one, I've got a list over here. I've got a list on my side right here. Aubameyang on the right. Okay. Mesut Ozil not in the squad. I'm putting that down to him because that's his fault. Mustafi over Socrates. I'm leaving that to him. What? I don't give a damn. He's in the squad. He's in the squad over Socrates. Now let me tell you something about Socrates. He's not done a foot wrong. Do you know what it is? He's old. He's slow. Whatever else. But he's got a brain. He knows where to stand. David, 22-year-old Gabriel is telling Mustafi about Jamie Vardy. This guy's he's been playing in France. How does he know who even Jamie Vardy is? You should have known him.
I told you, Peter, no football IQ, bruv. We all know what Vardy's going to do. Everyone, you left him the whole of North London, bruv.
Honestly, yeah, Brendan Rodgers turned up, right? David Brent, I have to give him his props this weekend. Why? Because he got it spot on. Shall I tell you why? The guy comes up to the Emirates. He didn't have Ricardo Pereira. He doesn't have Soyuncu. He doesn't have Ndidi. He's got Vardy on the bench. And he's thought to himself, he played no forward in the first, 70 minutes, right?
There was no forward.
Not a striker, right? He comes in, he says, listen, I need to hold it down. Let's make sure we're still in the game so that there's time. I'll bring on Vardy. I'll bring on Vardy when the time is right. If it's still in the balance, if it's 1-0, 1-1, 0-0, I will bring him on. And he pulled the trigger. Mustafi comes on and he pulls that trigger. And he says, right, Vardy, on you go. Cenks under, on you go. Bang. And they finished us just like that. Just like that. And all because of what? Because we didn't create nothing? Okay, fine. We had 11 shots, I think, in the first half, right? But I cannot even remember what chances were created. By the way, Lacazette, David. David. David.
Lack of threat, it looks like.
That first of all, it is lack of threat. That header he missed from Tierney's cross. Listen, that for me was the straw. That's the straw that's broken the camel's back for me. He should never be in. What? Lacazette? Yeah, sell him in January. You've got to get your money's worth in January. I don't even care if it's 10 million. Get rid. You can't have players like that where he's constant, because David, he's constantly missing big chances. Constantly. And also, the main thing is, it's in place of Aubameyang. Aubameyang should be there. He should be the one. You feed him back of the net. No long thing. He doesn't need tech. He's just in the box, burial.
Listen, Pete. If Arteta is on the wing against Man United, yeah, red card. I'm done. I'm done.
If Aubameyang, yeah.
If Aubameyang starts on the wing, bro, 12:30. Is it 12:30?
I don't know what time it is.
If Aubameyang is starting on the wing, yeah, red card for Arteta. I'm done with him, bro.
David, you're not allowed to say that. Do you know why? Because when I pulled out the yellow card last week, everyone told me, no, everyone, no, you're not allowed, David, you're not allowed, David, no, because remember when I said this about Unai Emery, do you know what I do now, yeah? I'm going to say something, I'll let it happen, I'm not coming here to come in and defend myself, forget all of that, because everyone now comes to shore at some point, at some stage in life, they all decide to come over to the side and say, "Raw, Pete, you know, you was possibly right." I said to you last week, the reason why it's a yellow card, David, we have 3 defeats in October. At the start of the season, we've got 3 defeats.
Bro, you don't need to tell me, bro.
Really?
No.
When I said Arteta yellow, what happened?
Bro, that was the rest of the man then, bro. Not me, bro.
No, I was just why?
Lola, I tell you what, Lola, enjoy Europa League football next season because there's no Champions League football next year. There's no Champions League football next season. David, it's over. It's over. Just understand this now. It's over.
Hold on. Austin, remember when we won the FA Cup here? Was I not saying this, bro? I said, you're right. Let's start again. Aubameyang, sell him, bro. Let's start again, bro. Look, we're wasting my man on the wing, bro.
Yeah, it's a waste. It's a waste.
Peter, I said this last after the FA Cup win. So Aubameyang, let's start again, bro. This is not happening, bro.
I know you guys are hot right now, but we've got a ton of comments about Arsenal. Let me read some of them off and then we can get back to this conversation. Lola O said, Peter, talk about your boy Xhaka.
Whoa. Tell me about Xhaka. What did Xhaka do in that game that warrants his criticism? What warrants him his criticism? How about the fact...
What warrants him praise, to be fair?
No, I'm not saying he gets praise. I'm definitely not saying that. One of the worst players on the pitch in midfield was Danny Ceballos because I don't know why. After 10 minutes, he was beat. He was finished. He was awful. He was absolutely finished. He was awful. Who should be in this position right now? Who should be playing in this team right now?
Marley Mo is in agreement with you. He said, Pedro, what does Ceballos do though? He does play through balls, just 90-degree turns. He's spinning all game. He's like a Beyblade in the middle of the park. What's going on?
The thing with Danny Ceballos is this though, like it's so annoying because it's one of those where he needs to have Ozil there and you need to have Partey there, innit? So you need to have he needs to not do any of their jobs, but he just needs to be in that midfield, ticking that ball over. Almost like, you know what? So it's so easy to not criticize like a Manu Petit or a Gilberto Silva because they won things at the end of the day. They did big things. But you go and ask them what did they do individually? Nothing, man can't say what they did. But they had a place, they had a spot to play in. And I feel like I don't want to compare like Xhaka and Ceballos to the likes of those guys. But they are the kind of players in that midfield where no news is good news about them. It's just Ceballos ain't the guy that we thought he was. Let's just keep it a buck. Thankfully, he's alone. So as soon as he's done next week, next season.
I just kind of want to park the conversation here whilst we're talking about Arsenal's midfield. I will get through to the other comments in a bit, but just while we're here, Lola O has said, Xhaka did nothing except get in Partey's way and lose his man for the goal. She also says, if Partey's on the pitch, Xhaka is useless.
The truth of the matter is, listen, I think, mate, I don't know what Maitland-Niles has to do to get a game. I genuinely don't know because I think he should be playing.
Forget about it, bro.
No, but he should be playing. Let's just be honest. He's been on
as a CM.
Yeah, I'd have him over.
No, forget about it, bro. The ship is sailed.
I'll have him over Xhaka right now. Like you want to play players on form. Partey's there, and the thing here's the other problem, Adrian. Like you were saying about Lampard and Solskjaer, the same goes for Arsenal in terms of what is the team, what is the play, what is the formation, who is the first 11. Do you get what I'm saying? 1 week Pepe's in, 1 week Willian's in, 1 week Willian's not in the squad. The next week, do you know what I'm saying? We've got Aubameyang on the right. I mean, what you couldn't make that up. You couldn't make up that he would be on the right.
Biggest issue. We had a comment earlier that said Arteta is not much clearer of Ole and Lampard. Take out the FA Cup run, and Arsenal ain't been much different than they were under Emery. And if you look at Ole, Lampard, Arteta, the one thing that they all have in common is we don't know who's starting the next game. None of us know.
Yeah,
that's the one thing.
And you know, we're going to Old Trafford and don't even think we're going to win there. Of course, we're not going to win there because we go to these grounds now and we wet the bed completely, and we just say, "Look, we know you're going to kill us, but just kill us. You know, be merciful." That's all we ask. That's what we've been doing to these grounds.
If Cavani starts that game, he's having a field day, bro.
Oh, it's carnage. It's carnage.
Guys, whilst we're still on the midfield, we've got a couple more. Adrian disappeared. Lola O said, do you know what's wrong with having Xhaka on the pitch? He's a pressing trigger for the opposition. They know to let Xhaka get the ball, then press him. He makes mistakes. Lola O also suggested play Partey, Ceballos, and Ainsley Maitland-Niles, just like Peter. Ban Xhaka. Marley Mo has asked the question, David, what 3 midfielders would you play against Manchester United next week?
None of them, bro.
I'd play a 4-2-3-1 though, not a 4-3-3. 4-3-3 is wash, blood, not for us. It's not for us.
Hey, bro, I've been saying.
Yeah, it's not for us. It's not for us.
I've been saying from the 3-5-2 don't work, 3-4-3 don't work. Where for Arsenal is 4-2-3-1. We played against Sheffield United and we were slapping, bro.
So who? Yeah, go on. So I want to know who the 2 and the 10 is.
The 10's Ozil, but yeah, whatever.
Willian is now part of football Twitter. That's it.
Willian behind the striker, Aubameyang, and then I'll pay Partey and who do I put?
Elneny?
I would.
Yeah.
At Old Trafford, I'd go. See, the thing is, you would go with Elneny and Partey just to shore it up. Don't let no leakage. Don't do anything stupid with Bruno there, and you know what I'm saying. And if Pogba gets on, and if Van der Beek gets on, just don't be stupid. You know them ones. But David, at the end of the day, first half I thought we were okay. Yes, it was 0-0, and I was worried at 0-0 because I thought Vardy will come on later. Everybody knew it. Every man and his dog knew it. But 0-0 at halftime, it was okay. We were the ones in control. Leicester knew what time it was. They knew they had no forward. They weren't the brilliant team. But when they brought on the Leng, it was a case of Vardy should have scored twice. It was one of those ones where we got 2 chances in this game and they took one of them. And that was it.
And you know the issue I have, even not like, okay, Mustafi made his mistake here, but we always do this. Tillman, we know we have a ball up, bro. This guy has the ball. Drop back, bro. None of them. Bellerin is pressed. I don't know where he was going. If he's back a few yards, he's got pace. He might be able to nowhere to be found.
Are we talking about defense?
Yeah, bro.
Let's go. Lola O said Mustafi played. Tell me Saliba still isn't ready.
Listen, the truth of the matter is this, Socrates should be in the squad ahead of Mustafi. That's the truth of the matter. And this is why
the reason Socrates is one of them who didn't take the pay cut. That's what she suggested.
No, I know. It's not Socrates. Socrates was just literally like one of those where Arteta saw him and said, "Yeah, I don't want him," and let's sell him off. Boom, boom, boom. Napoli tried to get him, and I think it all went curtains because they've got Koulibaly. Why the heck are they signing Socrates for? You know them ones. So that was all a bit of a toying thing. I think in case, like, if Koulibaly went, Napoli would have nicked him. But I don't think it's to do with the pay cut at all. The other 2 is clear who took the pay cut, but who didn't take the pay cut. But man, no one wants to make noise. No one wants to say anything. But we'll move right on that one.
What the other 2? Guendouzi?
No. Guendouzi got dropped because obviously with his little rockers with Mopai and doesn't want to apologize. He's like,
who's the
other 2?
What do you mean? It's obvious. What do you mean? Who's the other 2? Think about it.
Maitland-Niles?
No.
I think this is confidential territory, isn't it?
It's very confidential, but you should know who it is. We'll say it off camera.
Let's move on. Let's move on from that.
But
listen, Arteta's on the yellow card for so many reasons, right? And the reason is Socrates not in the squad. It's Ozil not in the squad. He bought Willian. Yeah, I'm not getting over that one. He bought Willian. He said that the board are backing him. He said, what's it called? Why we're trying to look for money for Hassan Aouar, right? And yet we've got all this plethora of players at the back and that we can't just seem to get rid of. We've got so many players we want to get rid of. And David, I'm fed up. The season, I'm not lying for you, man. The season is wrapped not because it's not possible to be in the top 4 or even win the league at this rate.
Because everyone's not being serious.
Everyone's not being serious.
I think that's part of the problem, you know.
Everyone is not being serious about this league.
Do you know what is it? I was saying in the group. Remember I said in the group chat, I said, lads, massive game, must-win game today. Because everyone pissed about.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, Leicester got a clean sheet. Do you hear the injuries I named that they have? They got a clean sheet at the Emirates, blood. At the Emirates, blood. Vardy's come on now. Man, they want to say, Mustafi's he's been off for 4 months. Vardy's been on the crutches. He came right in, header in. Do you know what I'm saying? Should have had twice. But
annoying. Vardy was at it. Lola O said he knew that if Arsenal don't score, I got this. He's coming on.
And he was vibing all day. Pre-match, the guy was on vibes.
You can say that Jamie Vardy was having a party. You know
what I'm saying? He was. Bro, the guy was skanking in pre-match. You know what I'm saying? Tunes were getting blared out. He was there vibing like he's not away from home. It's like he thought he was at home playing Burnley. That's literally what he was thinking.
It's a chill day for them. Brendan set it up right. Lola O said that Laka starts for maybe 3 teams in the Prem. No lie. Yeah, let's just leave that. Let's just leave Laka out of this because Laka's such a sensitive topic for Arsenal fans. Oh my gosh. Do you remember when they signed?
We paid 50 million quid. We paid 50 million quid for him.
Do you remember when Man United had Lukaku, Chelsea had Morata, Arsenal have still got Lacazette to this day? Oh,
I remember when that was the biggest debate. Over
to you, Lacazette. Horrible.
I think that's the thing people forget, you know. Like Lacazette was touted to be the final destination, you know, because obviously Olivier Giroud for year upon year wasn't clinical, and all of a sudden you bought this bad boy leg man that's going to get you 20 to 25 league goals a season, and 6 months later you sign Aubameyang, and I think it's so easy to forget that Lacazette was genuinely meant to be your main guy, and he just hasn't cut the mustard.
No, he doesn't. That's why I think they spent 60.
Do you know what's even more hilarious? How have Arsenal been robbed by the country of France? In total, you have given the country of France 120 million.
Comfortable.
One is still paying in installments, and the other.
Can we add another one to that list? William Saliba cost 30 million quid.
I forgot about him.
He cost 30 million quid. Fofana at Leicester, he was his partner at St. Etienne. Have we bought the wrong one? Lola, let me ask you. Should we have Fofana in this team instead of Saliba? It looks like we bought the wrong one, bruv.
Oh, you can't say that.
On a real.
Yeah, he hasn't played.
That is throwing the baby out with the bathwater, mate.
Bro, 30 million.
Honestly.
30 million.
Excuse me? Exactly. 30 million quid and you can't play a Premier League game? 18
I'm reserving.
I don't care how old you are.
Is it that he can't?
I'm reserving judgment on him because apparently he had like a rough summer, new country. So even if this summer is like a write-off for him, but my issue is the fact that Mustafi is playing ahead of him because, genuinely speaking, I don't see how much worse Saliba can be than Mustafi. And don't get me wrong, let's just say hypothetically, Saliba makes that same mistake. He's 19. The prevailing wisdom is by the time he's 23, he's not going to make that. Mustafi's 28. He's going to make that mistake when he's 38. He's going to make that mistake when he's 32. That's just ingrained in his DNA. So you'd almost rather give the younger guy the opportunity. But as I said, the reason why I'm not going to jump on Arteta's back for Saliba in particular is because apparently he's had quite a tricky summer. So maybe he's just not ready to play football.
Yeah, no, I'm not going on Arteta's back for Saliba. No chance. But I'm just saying Saliba is not as easy as it seems. But go on, Oscar.
There's a ton of comments, so just let me get through most of them, and then we can get back to some football chat. Ben says, hi. What's going on, Ben?
Hey, Ben.
Lola O talking about Arteta. She's still not at a yellow card, apparently.
I'll see you in December, Lola. Don't worry. I'll see you in December. We'll talk yellow cards.
Boss like Endo said that United Arsenal game is going to be so dry. I'm not looking forward to it.
No, do you know what? It's gonna be a standard 2-0 Manchester United win. It's just gonna be calm. Early goal first half, late goal second half. textbook done.
Yeah, maybe. I think United win. But Cameron Lees says, Wagwan, Cameron, what are you saying?
Cameron, man, what's going on, man? What's going on?
Marley Mo said, I played Football Manager and Ozil wanted a pay rise first 3 months into the season and got me sacked.
On free,
Sorry, mate.
he could afford it.
Sorry.
Listen, Mali, I feel your
The salary would have gone in red.
Do you know what it is? I feel his pain, bro, because Ozil's on his last year as you start the season, and you're thinking, damn, like, am I giving him a pay rise? Am I giving him because a new contract's more money, and he's already on 350. So it's like, what do you do? What a handicap this is, even in games.
Yeah. Yeah. Cameron Lees also said Arsenal are dog, Forest 4, Arsenal 2. I don't know what that's a reference to.
Do you remember that game, bruv? Nottingham Forest, blood, when we lost 4-2 in the FA Cup, third round, blood. I'll never forget that. That game was a dark time. That was a
At the Forest
dark
ground.
time. At the City ground, yeah, man.
City ground rather, yeah.
Oh man, we got slacked.
Marley Mo says Arteta plays Ceballos the deepest in our midfield. Did you guys think that's the right move or what?
Like I said, 10 minutes in, he was frigging knackered. He was done. He was cooked. Every time I see a player coming ready to come on to get substituted on, I'm thinking he's calling off Ceballos. And I'm calling other names. I'm thinking, rah, not even Ceballos? Like, he's managed the whole game?
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Lola O said Bun Willian, he's not a 10.
We should have never bought him. Chelsea's bins. If you go near Chelsea's trash cans, you're going to get trash. It's very simple. It's very simple.
Lola O also said Kieran Tierney, Saka and Louise were having a joyful game. Laka messed things up. No surprise, all three came off and no sense of creativity was about. Yeah,
I felt sorry for Bukayo. Best player on the pitch, probably.
Yeah, but he did tire towards the end. Saka is the shining light in this Arsenal team. He's the only one that gives you any sort of hope. But David Luiz had a great game until he came off. He was the one playing the passes. I thought he had a decent display from where he was.
Our creative really?
I mean, you got no one in midfield. So Dennis Breitenbach has asked the question. Do you guys have a special podcast for the Champions League? I love the wildfire that is your podcast, but I can't watch all the PL games. Or do you talk about CL and PL more Eve? Monday evening. Monday evening.
Lads, what are you saying?
In the group chat, I proposed the question, but no one responded still. So,
fam, I feel like we got to do some specials. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like we might have to ignite the Thursday podcast. That might have to be a thing.
Is that a thing on a Thursday?
Trust. Maybe. Stay tuned. Potentially, it could come. Yeah. I'm gonna get through. There's still more comments on Arsenal before I get to. What?
Can we get to Boslak's last one?
You want me to go right to the bottom? What are you man's thoughts on pay-per-view?
Trash, bro. Bumpage, bro. Whoever paid for the game yesterday, yeah, hold that L, bro.
I'm not gonna lie. I will never pay for any Arsenal game as long as you're paying for Sky. Like, you're paying already for something. And then you ask me to pay an extra 15. You man are taking a mick. But guess what? Controversially, I understand it. Unfortunately, I understand it.
Of course you understand it. I'm never paying for a game. Stream FC.
I swear they want to get rid of it.
Yeah, they're having a meeting tomorrow to decide what the issue is with it, what they're going to do, how they're going to do it.
It's trash.
The issue is £15. Listen, whatever Jabroni bought that game, that 0-0.
£15 for Sheffield versus Fulham.
They just showed West Brom versus Brighton at 5:30. Who is paying £15 for that?
Everyone.
Who's even awake at that time? So, like, spiritually, you're not ready to take in football at 5:30 on a Monday. I'm so sorry. Bro, your tie is dangling by your neck. Nah,
like, you're finished work. You're on the
Bakerloo
line. No one.
No one is at home ready to be watching that game, even if you're working from home.
What they need to do is understand that they can open grounds with social distancing in place and have like maybe a third of the ground full. This whole idea that I can go to Westfield tomorrow and be in a queue at bloody H&M, but I can't stand in a stand 3 meters away from a person and watch football is just a bit ludicrous. They need to get back to normality as soon as possible and a staggered. Yeah, go on.
I think they think football fans are idiotic lunatics that can't handle a couple of pints. So essentially, you're just all the red tape, all the chaos that's going to ensue. Because bro, you can't tell Dave, West Ham fan, not to hug Tony like when Mark Noble scores a penalty. Do you know what I mean? So I genuinely think that's a part of it. Because bro, I'm seeing it in the opera. It's full. It's ram. They all wear masks. Listen to Pippin Pavlovic.
Did you not see the Champions League highlights when Rennes, their first Champions League game, the ultras were in there going mad?
Yeah.
Shirts off, but it was funny. They all had masks on, but they were still doing the shenanigans.
Shirt off, masks on.
PSG fans never left.
That's it. Bro, it's like America is where COVID is rife. Yeah, I'm seeing NFL stadiums half full.
Did you not see that Atlanta party that was happening on the timeline?
What, Shensea's concert?
Yeah.
Oh my Atlanta.
Bro, those are a spare square meter in the whole room, in the whole club.
Nothing spare.
Right,
Arsenal Rapid Vienna. I saw half a stadium at Rapid Vienna at friggin' in Vienna.
Yeah, there was half a stadium there. Let me finish some more of these comments. Let me see. Lola O says Socrates is better than Mustafi, but he should still not be starting. So Saliba needs game time. He was the better one between him and Fofana. That's interesting.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to say let's not play Saliba. Let's play him. Let's get some games in. Let's do it. But guess what, Lola? We're not going to see him for ages. So let's just drink it in.
She also said that I need Saliba to find the French shooters and make sure Arteta is forced to play him. Wow.
Whoa, the Leng, yeah?
Like, you know, the Frenchmen are on smoke. They're on some serious.
Yeah, that's a bit too far. Like, Arteta might just come home and find his phone burning. I might just have to jump out of a window. Oh, did you see the way the French protest?
The French are mad.
No. They're mad. She also said, no, we shouldn't have. I think she means in terms of buying Fofana. Saliba is known to be the better CB, and that's all on Arteta for being an idiot and not playing him.
Okay.
That's
your card offense, fam. Yeah.
And again, the Arteta thing is nuanced, and that's why, like, Peter, if you want to pull up your yellow card because it's fair enough. Because whilst I think he's done a lot of good,
you come with the Leng talk, bro. Man's nah.
No, that's fair enough. I still think he's done a lot of good things, but in the same vein, I can criticize him and say, why the hell are you playing Aubameyang on the wing? Why has Mustafi come back into the side? It is nuanced. Like, he's not perfect. I think he's done a lot of good and he's done a lot of stupidity as well.
Adrian, yeah. You see Klopp, yeah. Man come with the Leng, said 4 years, I'll win this league, bro. Man,
bro, it's completely different.
You need to come with the Leng, guys. You're playing guys. First of all, the football trash. Yeah, you've dropped Özil, where there's deficiencies in the team, and you're playing our best striker on the wings. Brav, yellow card, fam.
100%.
Yellow card.
But I think it's quite an easy, dare I say, almost lazy approach to make a comparison between Jurgen Klopp and Mikel Arteta, because ultimately what you started to see is that when Jurgen Klopp started to get the right pieces of the jigsaw around him, when he actually started to sign the players that he wanted to sign, when he actually had Michael Edwards in the boardroom, facilitating the ability to make these sorts of deals and to get to make an absolute killing out of players that didn't fit his vision, you started to see it translate onto the field. I don't think it's as easy as saying, we saw what Klopp did. Because it wasn't a smooth transition. We did have a lot of what's that pain? Is it birthing pain? Certain pain. But anyway, we had a lot of initial pain. You know what I mean? So I think Adrian, I'm still going to give the guy time.
I'm not comparing him to Klopp. Listen, first of all, the Klopp thing is fair because Liverpool and Arsenal are kind of the same. If you took Liverpool 4 years ago, it's the same as where Arsenal are now. But for your argument's sake, I won't compare it to him. Like I've always said, season on season, what was Wenger sacked for? Okay, what was Unai Emery sacked for? Okay, what? Like you got to tell me what? Let's be honest right now, yeah. Would any of you, man, have Emery in this team right now, or do you have Arteta? Or better question. Who's the better manager? Arteta or Emery? Because if you're saying Arteta, you're on drugs. If you're saying Arteta, you're on drugs.
Again, I think that's very revisionist, and it's easy to say, "Oh, why was X signed for? Why was X sacked? Why was Y sacked?" Bro, it was absolutely toxic. Like in Emery's last few months at Arsenal, did you enjoy football? You didn't enjoy the football. It was awful football. You were poor in an attacking sense. You thought, okay, fair enough, I'll be poor in an attacking sense to supplement the defense. Guess what? You're crap defensively as well. You was going to Watford, conceding over 20-odd shots. Like, let's
We
not.
were good attacking wise. We were good attacking
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Oh my God. Is that what you're saying?
Guys,
So are you telling me Emery should still be Arsenal manager today?
What I'm saying is if flipping hell no.
No, guys, listen, honestly, listen, we're not seeing good football, bruv. I'm not seeing where we're going. It's the same old crap, bruv. Klopp showed me on the pitch, this is what we're doing. Got rid of the garbage, sparing, all them lot. Mourinho,
but you made the point. He's got rid of the garbage. Bro, you man have got 8 defenders, 8 centre halves, 3 of which are good. One of your good centre halves happens to be a left back. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
but Adrian, of all the players that Arteta wants to get rid of, how many did Emery buy of them? How long do you want to keep the trash at the club? How long?
Gwen. Nah, bro. What? So what should Arteta do then?
No, what I'm
because
saying
it's clear as day he waited hours to improve your squad, but you couldn't sell your crap players, so you couldn't accrue the funds to do so. So I don't know.
The thing is that you just got to sell. You got to sell them at cheaper prices. At the end of the day, like we cut Mkhitaryan's contract for crying out loud. He was like on 200 grand a week, and we chopped the contract. Like that was a mutual choppage. So what I'm saying is, if you're not going to play like Özil and Socrates, in theory, should not even be in your club if they can't be in the Premier League or Europa League squads. Those are contracts you must terminate. They can't be still here.
But bro, I think you're conflating two things, and I think I think it goes part back to the point I made about infrastructure at Liverpool. The fact that you can give a man a 350 grand a week contract, 2 years ago, let's call it, and you fast forward 24 months to the point he's surplus to requirements, to the point where you genuinely can't shift him. He's happy with his contract, and Ozil has told the club, "Give me my money, and I'll happily leave." Like, that's not a Mikel Arteta issue. I'm so sorry, bro. Like, you can't then come and expect him to be able to shift a player like that.
Adrian, put him in the squad.
You're right. No, you're
He's
right.
worthy to be played.
You're right. No, you're definitely right.
We're not talking about a guy who's put on 10 stone, or he's drunk, or he's an addict. Mesut Ozil. Like, why are we acting like we're talking about play Jack Wilshere, or let's bring in Ramsey, or let's bring Mesut friggin' Ozil?
But again, my retort would be, to what extent and to what how much do we apportion the blame to Arteta, or how much do we apportion the blame to Arsenal still want to do deals in China? Do you see what I'm saying? And
he's the manager. He's the manager. The buck stops with him. He's the friggin' manager. I don't give a monkeys.
He came out the lens.
I don't think the Ozil thing is purely football.
That's what I'm saying.
It can't be.
But okay. Oh, do you know what? Then guess what? Adrian? Guess what? I'll add another reason for that yellow card, because he's a liar. Because he said it's for footballing reasons. Ozil's not in the squad. Then he's a liar.
Yeah, I can't justify that. If that's the case,
you can't justify it. You can't justify it.
I can't.
All right.
If that's what he said, that's what he said.
Leave Arsenal alone, bruv. They're gonna get on my damn nerves. I've had enough.
Look, I want to, but we got to read the comments. People are saying important things. B Arsenal Gooner says Arteta's inexperience will be costly to us this season.
Facts.
If people like Brendan and Ollie start giving us the runaround, which is true. Which is true.
Can't go wrong there.
Olo also said Man United and Chelsea did the smart thing by getting rid of their dead strikers in Morata and Lukaku. Yeah, true. Marley Mo says Arteta's pride will be his downfall. Guendouzi and Ozil, who's next?
Facts.
It's Elijah says # bring back Sonogo.
Flipping hell. Big up Elijah, man. What's going on? Fam,
I still remember the hat trick and Emirates top player, top striker.
He scored against Jurgen Klopp.
That's what good strikers do. Let's go against whoever it is.
We're not talking about Sonogo, guys. Lola O said, "This is what I'm saying. Too many Arsenal fans have been overestimating the talents of the squad. We only brought in 2 good players. Still got mad crap all over the gaff." That's when she then said Emery can burn in hell. And she also said, "With Emery, we were dead in both defense and attack." And Emery was not good. He had Ozil pulling him out of the mess.
We were playing good football under Emery. He just had the mare, bruv. After when he went to with El Nene and String, it went downhill, bruv. Let's not.
That was April. He got sacked to like November.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. Half of the season he was playing good football, and then he had the mare, and then he got sacked. So I'm not going to say we didn't play good football.
Yeah, no, Emery.
It was toxic. No, do you remember the Europa League game against Victoria?
Yeah, no.
At the end.
Emery had like 4 weeks at the end of his reign where it went to pot.
It went belly up.
And it was just unsalvageable as far as Arsenal were concerned. However, it took us forever how long to get a new manager in. Look at the way we operate, man. Honestly.
Lola says Arteta does not control the price that we sell man at. That's all on Edu and the club. She also said all managers lie, so chill out. I mean, all of us have had a manager that has fed us false information about our squad and our club.
Not Mr. Klopp. Not Mr. Klopp.
Listen, all managers lie. Fair enough, yeah. But for you to tell me that Ozil is not in the squad. I'm not saying he's not playing. He's not starting. He's not in the squad for footballing reasons. It's the fattest L.
Yeah, and I'm saying that there's lying. There's blatant lying.
No, but you guys have to treat Ozil as if he's a player that's been sold. You can't keep harping on about him because he doesn't play for your club and he's not going to. And it's clearly this happened under Emery. It's clearly not Arteta's fault. It's not within his control. Okay,
so he chose. It wasn't his choice to leave him out of the squad. That's what you're telling me.
Look,
not solely.
Yeah, it's not down to him.
You're freaking
no, bro. You can't. It doesn't make business sense.
You're kidding me.
You can't give him 150 grand a week to sit at home.
At one point,
you can't.
Emery was saying in an interview, the board told him not to play Ozil, right? And he ended up playing. He was the head coach. He ended up playing. Arteta is now the manager. Fam, the buck stops with him. I'm not gonna have that. He's not putting him in the squad. If you're saying to me he's in the 18 and he's not making the first 11 and that's down with the board, that's fine. Oscar, we're talking about him. Do you know when you say he's not your player anymore? You should treat him like he's not your player. The fact of the matter is he's an Arsenal player. I can go to the shop.
It's business. I can go to the shop tomorrow
and I can buy a Mesut Ozil number 10 shirt. Arsenal kit tomorrow, and they will gladly sell me that. Of course they can. He's our player. He's our player.
No, I hear that, but as in like, is he like paraded in the armory?
What do you think that 10's there for? What do you think that 10's over there for?
That's a mad thing, you know. I guess they're just trying to milk every penny they can bet.
I have a question.
And that's the thing. That's a joke, bro.
That's a joke thing, blood.
You're still selling his shirt, bro.
That's a joke thing, bro. That's just such a joke thing. What kind of football club operates like that?
Apparently, Ozil's on a contract where he gets less money if he doesn't play, appearance fees, goal bonuses, assist bonuses, stuff like that.
Like everyone, like everyone else.
Yeah, he has to.
Just like everyone. That's just like everyone else.
Because if I'm giving you 30-50K a week, you're doing something for me. You're in the squad. I'm so sorry because you can't throw away 30-50. Do you know what 30-50 grand is?
Do you know what that is?
A week. Can't throw that away. That's more than $1 million a month. Bro, do something.
Adrian, bruv. Are you hearing the bruv? It's mad.
And I'm harsh. I'm harsh that Arteta's on a yellow card. I'm harsh, yeah.
Robin,
I'll wait for you lot in May.
Yeah. So my question is that you see how Champions League you have to register players before the group stage and all that stuff. With the Premier League, I swear you can register anytime.
That's what I thought.
No, not anytime. It was after the window.
After the window, no.
So if Arsenal, but if Arsenal, let's say Arsenal sacked Arteta and they got a new manager in, could he just play Ozil?
I don't think so.
I think it's till January, you know.
Yeah, it's till the next registration.
Right. Okay,
really
we've got one. Okay, I think we're done with Arsenal for now. Yeah? Is that cool? Marley Mo asked, do you man play FIFA 21?
Nah, not even.
Nah.
When I get on the
waiting for FM 21, bro.
I'll get the PS5 and then I'll slap on the 21 maybe.
Yeah, maybe when PS5 comes out, but no, not now.
Peter said that like, guys, like, cop that store, no problem.
Yeah,
Peter's brilliant, bro.
Hey, Christmas is gonna be deals, fam.
I like what you know what I'm saying. What save $250 a month, 2 months. The PS5's there. You just got to be intentional with your money. That's all it is.
Okay, we had an earlier question from Marley Mo that wasn't to do with Arsenal, so I just left it till the end. He said, Oscar Abramovich is giving Lampard enough rope to hang himself. Elsewhere, Nagelsmann is being lined up to replace Pep Guardiola.
Speaking of Pep Guardiola,
let me just answer the question real quick. It's not a question, but I'll just respond. In terms of Abramovich, I've been a Chelsea fan for a long time. We know who Roman Abramovich is. We know the ruthlessness of this guy. So Lampard's days are not like infinite. They're numbered if he performs badly. But as far as I'm concerned, I will criticize the guy and I'll point out his flaws, but I don't think I will ever be Lampard out. That's just me as a fan. Lampard's my favorite player of all time. I'm never going to want this guy to be sacked. Even if Chelsea are 18th in the league, I'm going to be here saying Super Frank is going to turn this relegation around. That's how bad it is for me.
Listen,
you're a real one.
Listen. Ollie delivered the treble. I'm still having questions. So ain't nobody safe.
Yeah, but
ain't safe on the block for sure.
Ollie and Lampard are not the same caliber of legend. Like
completely different teams.
It's like this is like a Rooney or it's like Beckham for you lot. Do you know what I mean? Like Lampard is our all-time greatest goal scorer. Like I would never be Lampard out. I'm sorry. Next question. Marley Mo says you're gonna have to camp outside for that PS5 Peter.
Fam, you know when that clearance.
Just chill. You don't get it straight away, fam.
I lie. You got to let everyone have them glitches.
Let everyone do the madness. Let them fix the glitch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Round 2 now, and then boom, then you go get it. The smart man don't think alike.
Yo, Peter, we can finally move on.
Let's move on to West Ham. Yeah, West Ham.
At
Manchester at home to Man City. West Ham.
What's going on with City?
West Ham.
Nah, do you know what? Can I be honest? West Ham were very good. David Moyes deserves some respect, and Manchester City had bare shots, just didn't put him in the net. I'm not blaming Pep for that. You can call me his lawyer or whatever you want to call him. But
no, you're right.
It was one of those days where, look, another day it's the usual 5 and 6 that they score at the London Stadium like Man City love to do. But again, West Ham were very, very good. Moyes dealt with what he had and the tools that he had at his disposal. He got a 1-1 draw. Fantastic stuff from West Ham. Brilliant game of football as well. It was very, very educational.
But Pete, my sort of retort to the point you make, for me it's the same song and a different hymn sheet. Like, because I agree with you. Like, City created enough chances to put that game to bed. I think Sterling had. Let's never get into it. But I cast my mind back to several games last season. Exact same story. The Norwich game, the Southampton game sticks out like a sore thumb. So I guess the question I'm sort of pointing to you is: do you think? I mean, it's harsh to say Pep needs to change something, but what do you think City have to do to convert these poor results into the W's that their play perhaps warrants? Because it's the same old story.
A certified striker.
Yep.
The issue that you're seeing in these common games is that
was my answer.
It's the goal scoring side of things because they are battering doors. Yeah. Now, like I said, I'm trying to give West Ham praise here. I'm trying to say, you know what, Moyes pulled out a very good game, and I don't want to take that away from him.
And he did. Yeah.
And he did. You know what I'm saying? And it's one of those where you think the truth of the matter is, yes, I think City had 14 shots. 14 shots. I think 7 were on target. You would have never known. But it's one of those where, Aguero's been injured. Jesus has been injured. You know what I'm saying? In and out. Aguero's, I think, 32 now. We have to bear that in mind as well. And, he needs what Guardiola needs to do next season. And I think it's one of those. We're talking about Premier League. We're talking about Champions League with Man City. He has to go out there, draw for the length and buy a bad boy striker, like a dirty striker, like, say, Lewandowski. Or even, he should have had a Aubameyang. Let's just be honest. Let's call it what it is.
Haaland's probably now.
Or even a Haaland. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm saying just somebody that will get you 30 goals in a season in all comps. You know them ones. That's what they need. And they'll be walking away with this league. But, injuries has been their main thing for me personally. It's just been their injuries. When they get their team full 11 and we see them play somebody, we will see City in it at its plight proper.
Guys, Lola's made a comment, and I think I want to go deeper into this just a little bit. She said West Ham were good, but it was another case of athleticism bridging gaps. Now, I spoke last week about how West Ham have sort of forsaken their flary players like Lanzini, Haller, Felipe Anderson for players like Antonio and Bowen, and players that are really going to run and put in the work.
Souček.
Souček as well. Souček. So in terms of last season, with Liverpool dominating the league with more of an industrious midfield than a creative one, how do you feel that's impacted the Premier League? Because obviously we're looking at teams like Arsenal who seem to have no athleticism and they're struggling to the point they've fallen out of the top 6. So, like, it even shows its head in Man United, where you're looking at Van der Beek on the bench, Pogba on the bench to play McTominay and Fred because they're going to do a bit of dirty work. Like, it's all over the league where the flair players are not being picked. The only place you can see that is Everton.
Yeah, I totally think that, you know what, Premier League goes through eras of different types of players and different types of football and whatever you want to call it. And, it's all about, the whole pressing from the, the pressing era is what we've been in. And that requires hard work. That requires stamina, some lungs. You know what I'm saying? It does not require just an assist from Mesut Ozil or whatever else. We're talking about players that are hungry, that are constantly fighting. And what I love about David Moyes and that kind of manager, where even managers, people like us, we criticize those kind of managers, a Sean Dyche, let's say, as I'm watching Burnley against Spurs at the minute. It's one of those where the hard work pays off. It's one of them ones where, like, if that's your lane, like when David Moyes came to West Ham, he came and there was a lot of flair players going on, and you could tell it was a Pellegrini side. You could tell because Pellegrini's lane is more of that ilk. But David Moyes is like, fam, no. I need some dogs. I need someone that can and really put in a shift. Like, they need to kick every ball, chase every ball. And yeah, athleticism, you could call it athleticism. I don't even know if it's even that's the term, because I think athletes are different in their own right. I think a weightlifter is an athlete, isn't he? And as well as a sprinter. But I get what you mean in terms of
you understand it.
Yeah, I get that.
Lona's also said PMP for the win, which is pace and power. So it's those kind of players are just like sort of forcing their way into victories, as opposed to the cutesy, Mesut Ozil type of footballer, which
we got Ozil. Mesut Ozil.
The truth is,
you don't have Ozil.
The truth is, though, like I think both can win. I don't think it's one or the other. I think when you've got it all, the problem with the more technical side is that you have to have every piece of the puzzle there.
Yep.
If you have a few things off, look at Man United. We were talking about their front five last season. We were just talking about it last season, and it was full of flair, juice, vibes. You know what I'm saying? Chicken wings. You know what I mean? But then it was a case of like, you look at the back. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. And West Ham, it's a case of, it's going to be a hard game. It's just going to be a hard game. Why? It's West Ham. Why should it be hard? But everybody knew that it wasn't a guaranteed 3 points for Manchester City.
Because and suppose the Premier League has no easy.
I wouldn't go that far, to be fair.
What's that?
No, just generally, I thought City were comfortable 2-3-0, to be fair.
What, based on the season?
Considering what kind of not necessarily based on the season, to be fair. Just generally that.
I'm basing it on just what we've seen. Because obviously the 5-2 with Leicester, the 1-0 with Leeds, it was a bit of a rough one against Wolves. Like, it's not been hunky dory.
I just would have expected quality to prevail.
I just want to add on to Scott's point. Yeah, I think it's always been the case with the Premier League. It's always been pace and power, bro. Gerrard, Lampard. Then you have
Vieira's.
Right. You get Vieira. You got the technical guy, Scholes. Fabregas.
Oh, the Chelsea era of Jose Mourinho's team and then Ancelotti's team, pure power.
Yeah, no, I mean,
you got your Hazard with the technical thing, and then
I think I'd agree on that. It's just I did kind of feel like Pep Guardiola came in and changed the culture. Is that just me?
No, because everyone thought Guardiola won't be able to do that here.
Yeah,
he just came and slapped up the thing.
And that's when Guardiola did that, then every team started playing out from the back. And every team wanted to be, expansive.
And in fairness, Oscar, even with the Guardiola thing, you say, he's not necessarily relying on PMP. who was his DM at his most sort of pivotal time? It was Fernandinho. His strength is possibly his athleticism. And then I even made the point after the Community Shield game last season, Liverpool Man City, where I saw KDB time after time after time killing us on the third man run, and I'm like, where the hell is this PMP come from? And he goes on to probably have one of his best, if not the best, Prem season he's ever had. So I do think you do need elements, 100%. You do need injections of it. Yes, and also even I think
that's what I was saying.
To add to your point, Adrian. As well,
right.
To add to your point, Adrian, like that's on company as well. Like when you think of him, power. You know what I'm saying? Straight up power.
Vasson company. Yeah, the French man.
Yeah, it's French.
Get a French.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying you got to give it. You got to give it the full beans. But yeah, no, you're right. Like I think every Premier League winner, you can state two things: pace and power. It's always been there. It's always been that case. Even when you go to Leicester, there was power, and then there was pace. You get what I'm saying? So
and energy, you can say, 100%.
Trust.
Okay.
I think the physical.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'll come back to you in a sec, Adrian. Lola O said athleticism and hard work are not the same. I'm thinking more like Leeds, not bum-ass Burnley. The Arsenal Gooner says a good team is a combination of both. They complement each other. And then lastly, Lola said, I'm not saying PMP all over, but you can't go the Arsenal route of no PMP. You need a nice mix, even 60-40 PMP mix. But I feel like the 60 and the 40 have rotated. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow, what was he saying before?
Before the Premier League has always been more PMP, but I feel like it slowly transitioned into a bit more tech and style, and then now it's gone back.
Yeah, because if you remember, that's why that whole myth of South American guys can't hack the intensity of the Premier League or the physicality of it. But then you go and watch River Plate versus Boca Juniors, and it's like bloody hell. And and just to the point, I think it is more of a mix, because I think you see with Everton, ultimately you need that industry and you need that people that will put themselves about and that will work hard for the team. So in Everton, you see it in Decore, Alan, even Andre Gomez can put himself about a bit, but then they also see the balance where they've actually got quality players like James Rodriguez that doesn't necessarily need to have the physical parts to his game, because that's already been compensated for. Like for me, in my opinion, in the Premier League, it would be Virgin and Suicide to have a team with James Rodriguez. You do need the dogs, as it were.
Yeah, I agree.
Brilliant.
I agree.
Brilliant. Pete, should we move on?
Yeah, let's go to Anfield. Adrian, 2-1 against Sheffield United. You got there in the end. Before we talk about how good... Before we get there, what's it called? Explain to me. So the Illuminati I brought up earlier regarding VAR, because I want to ask about this one with Mike Dean. What on earth did he see that he deemed Sheffield United's penalty to be a penalty? What on earth, what drugs are we dealing with?
I genuinely don't know. Like for me, like it was a cracking tackle. And what, are we not allowed to tackle anymore?
He won the ball.
Clearly.
And it was outside the area.
That I'm not too sure about.
It was outside.
I think it looks on the line to me, if I'm being honest.
Oh my lord!
If I'm being honest,
the tackle blood was outside the box, fam. It was, and he won the ball. Listen, regardless,
it wasn't a foul anyway because he won the ball. Yeah, won the ball.
But I don't know what the VAR went to check it and deemed it a penalty. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. But Liverpool, and when is Salah and Mane going to have this fight? I think they're due a UFC fight at some stage, because this thing of Salah not passing to Mane is getting hilarious now. It's getting hilarious. No, it went on the line. It went on the line. It was outside the box, outside the line.
I don't know.
I think that the exact challenge happened outside. I think it happened exactly outside, because I watched this replay like bare times. And I was like, no, it's not even close on the line.
I thought Fabinho had a good day.
I think it was
centre back. Yeah.
Fabinho.
I think Liverpool at the start looked a little bit shaky because it's like, oh crap, we don't have Van Dijk anymore. What are we gonna do? But
it was
then
more mental, isn't it? It was more like a mental thing.
But then they kept their cool, got there in the line. But it looks like they had to work hard for it. Yeah. They had to work quite hard for it. So I don't know how it's going to go when they go against bigger teams and how that's going to be. And even in their Champions League, they only won because of their own goal. And I was watching that again. I was like, Liverpool not really offering anything here. And Ajax have been on there so many times. It's just, as always, and I said this on Twitter, why do Ajax always have a young team? Like, I'm always confused. Like, always.
Academy FC, blood. They're Academy FC, fam.
Because by the time the players get to 24, somebody comes in for a £60 million beat.
Literally, bruv. They've got players in their squad that are 15. You know what?
Like,
that make the league squad.
But yeah, even in the Champions League, I was like, no, Liverpool not offering anything here. So I'm interested in how the European one's going to go. But no, they got over the line, and I was like, okay, cool, 3 points. They moved. They got West Ham next. Now that's going to be interesting because West Ham have seen off Tottenham and they've seen off City with both draws.
Where is that game?
I believe it's at Anfield.
Anfield.
Yeah.
That will be very entertaining to watch.
Oh yeah, bring.
Man saying it's easy, fam. I'm not gonna lie, Adrian, brother. Every game looks like a lottery these days, man. It looks like it's a bit of a lottery. I mean, you know, I'm watching Burnley against Spurs, and you'd think Spurs should go out there and win. Burnley have had 10 shots on goal. Tottenham have had 3, and just now they've had a shot cleared off the line by Harry Kane. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of game. It's still
0-0.
He's doing everything this season.
I like. He's defending. He's attacking.
He's
quarterbacking. This guy's Tom Brady.
Bro, what? How many? Is it 13 assists he's got so far this season? Or is it 7? I think he's got 7 assists.
I was gonna say 13.
Can't be 13.
Flipping hell.
It might be. Like, I wouldn't be surprised because he got 4 against Southampton alone.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because I saw like people were talking about can Kane do the whole 2020 thing. Apparently, I don't know if I'm bugging. I think I saw he's got 13 assists already.
He doesn't have 13.
I don't know if I'm losing mad.
That's not in the
Wow. I think he's got 7. I think he might have 13.
It might be 7.
It could be.
I think it might be 7 and 13 left. Yeah, sorry like that.
Ooh, unbelievable. Liverpool got the win in the end. Are we going to see that fight, Adrian? Are we going to have that fight between Salah and Mane? At some point, someone's going to let down their Muslim rituals, blood, and just go for the swing, fam. Because Mane is having enough of it. He got man of the match, but he's close to it. He's close to it, fam.
Why? Well, I think we were at this point in a similar point of the season last season, and we're at Burnley, where ultimately Mo Salah is a greedy, nasty, unscrupulous SOB. But that's what gets him. That's what gets him 25 league goals a season. Like, you need that hunger. Yeah. You can't be, because talk about lack of hunger. Who's the least hungry in the Liverpool front line? Probably Roberto Firmino.
But you got to go.
Yeah, he got one. He got one.
Mr. Shiny Teeth first goal.
I didn't even celebrate that. I'm just happy he got a monkey off of his back. Hopefully, he can give him some confidence.
Wait. Sorry, guys.
I thought it was offside, I didn't celebrate.
I feel like I've missed something. What happened between Mane and Salah?
At 2-1, Salah ran down the right-hand side, right?
Yeah.
And he sort of, the keeper comes out. But it's if he lays it off to Mane, it's an open goal. He taps it in. He goes for goal and he hits. I think he hits the post or the keeper saves
the post.
Like that.
But he was well within his rights.
Yeah, he was. But it was one of those. I remember, what game was it last?
So what happened? What happened with Mane? Did he look at him or what? Did he say?
Mane's like, come on, brother. And then Salah's like, fam, the keeper was there. Like, of course I'm going to shoot.
Yeah, what? I'll never tell Salah to take that part of his game. Never.
No, it's true. But it's like, it's one of those games where that could have been 1-1 or 0-0 or 1-0 down, and he's not squaring. He's still not squaring it. That's the thing about it, is that Salah is a nasty, greedy son of a gun. However, like Adrian said, that's what gets him 25 goals a season.
Yeah, I didn't see that game, so it's interesting to know what went down. It
was enjoyable. It was worth every penny of the £15. Yeah, I think there's a bit of a problem with my payment because it kept cutting out at certain points. But let's just say, my Arabic has improved a lot. I'm fluent. I'm a bit more fluent in Arabic. Let's just say that.
You're a bit more fluent. And there's been a goal at Turf Moor, ladies and gentlemen. It's Heung-min Son who scores for Tottenham Hotspur. Come against the run of play. It's been all Burnley. Whoops. It's been all Burnley. But against Heung-min Son.
Yes.
Was that a clean assist?
Let me see whose assist it was. I'm getting the replay now. It was a corner whipped in. It was a brilliant ball whipped in. Kane with a knock on. Son with the header on. It's another Kane. And
It might be 13 assists.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's unreal. Huh?
No, I'm only celebrating that because of fantasy, bro.
100.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I know. Like, when you said it was Son, I put my fist in the air celebrating. I realized I'm celebrating a Tottenham goal.
I know.
What has fantasy football done to me?
I was like, come on.
I'm just happy that Tottenham have broken the deadlock. No, Tottenham need to lose this game.
Yeah, they do need to lose. But yeah, what's it called? Combinations now in the Premier League. Son and Kane have 29. They've gone level with Thierry Henry and Perez and David Silva and Aguero. They are now 7 behind Lampard and Drogba. Unbelievable stuff.
Lampard and Drogba the GOAT. Underrated.
Unbelievable stuff.
Boss That Endo says West Ham are going to move to us. He's not confident of Liverpool's next game. Adrian, what do you think about that?
Wow. I think for me, the opening games of the season has been it's been helter-skelter. It's been absolutely it's been thrown in the air. Yet still, here Liverpool find themselves not necessarily playing the best they've ever played, level at the top of the table. And I think it's sort of easy to underestimate just how good this Liverpool side is, even despite the fact it's not necessarily clicked into gear. I think Van Dijk, and again, I think it's going to be obvious. It's going to be an easy comparison to every time a defender doesn't necessarily do something great. Van Dijk could have got that. Van Dijk would have got that. Even without Van Dijk, I still think this team has got more than enough quality to get us over the line and to comfortably dispatch of opponents, the likes of West Ham. Because Peter was making an argument of the whole Salah Mane thing. Mane ends up getting 2 assists. Salah puts the ball in the back of the net from a wonderful shot pass, albeit it was fractionally offside. So, Liverpool,
it was a great finish, by the way.
More than enough, 100%. And Liverpool still have more than enough quality. I think it's just easy to forget that Van Dijk is gone. Van Dijk is irreplaceable. No centre half on the planet can do what he does. I even saw there's one diag that Gomez did. It got to Trent eventually, but bro, it was looking like AOL dial-up. It was looking like it caught a cable because it was just hella hang time. Whereas when Van Dijk does it, it's like an arrow, and you hear it slap man's chest. But these are just small teething pains that we're gonna have to adapt. But yeah, I think especially if it's at Anfield, we'll deal with West Ham.
For the neutral, this Premier League season is going to be fantastic. Can we move on to other games, Oscar?
Don't worry, lads. By December, we'll be clear.
Yeah, well, let me read some comments. Some of these comments have got nothing to do with Liverpool, so I'll get into some of them. Lola O said, I really like Ampadu. I don't know why Chelsea are dying to get Rice when they have him to use. Yeah, simple Chelsea economics, really. We've got a bunch of good players that are out on loan, but we're still trying to buy new players.
And Gilmore as well. I like Billy Gilmore as well.
We still got Billy Gilmore, who's currently injured, but when he comes back, I can guarantee Lampard will be using him in some games. So Chelsea fans are very excited about Ampadu. I'm glad that he's getting some minutes on loan. So yeah, I like him. Also, Marley Mo has a question for us. Drogba versus Eto'o. Who's the best African striker? You know what my answer is going to be. It's going to be
debate.
Who?
No debate.
Go on.
It's no debate. Of course, it's Samuel Eto'o. What kind of a question is this? Of course, it's Samuel Eto'o.
It's the man.
Not even close.
It's the man.
No, it's Eto'o, but I respect the drugs. The drugs in 2010, I respect it.
Drogba, but
Samuel Eto'o was better.
It is Samuel Eto'o. That's not right.
He was a terrorist in front of goal, man.
What I will say, Samuel Eto'o is a fantastic striker. He was a much better goal scorer. He clapped a lot of goals in all of his career, but he never dragged his team to a Champions League the way Didier Drogba did in 2012. Drogba scored in the group stage against Valencia to send us through. He then scored in the round of 16 against Napoli to send us through. He then scored in the semi-finals against Barcelona. He then scored in the final at Munich and scored the winning penalty, guys. Didier Drogba.
Oscar.
Yeah.
So what? Just a quick question. So should Eto'o have done more in the treble winning season for Barcelona or the treble winning season for Inter Milan? Just let me know. Yes.
2 trebles.
Man. He kept Cameroon relevant. My
Cameroon? Drogba stopped the civil war in his country. Are you mad?
That's major still.
Nah, do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? If I'm being brutally honest, Samuel Eto'o was the man. I think Samuel Eto'o was better than Didier Drogba. But obviously, my allegiances lie with the big Ivorian.
What I loved about Eto'o is the lethalness in which he buried goalkeepers, man. This guy was an assassin, flipping out. And even at Inter Milan treble you're talking about, he was on the wing. He was on the Mourinho side on the wing,
Milito.
winning the treble. The guy was
even
bad.
Milito.
Diego
Milito. What a guy.
If
I
you know
wish
what
he did more for Argentina.
Listen, all I need is that year. That's all I needed from him.
Yeah.
It's all I needed. It got Inter Milan a treble. I'm happy.
Let's play like Genoa or something.
Southampton 2-0 against Everton, man. Everton, who were on a good streak, but then Mr. Hasenhüttl yet again pulling it out of the bag. Exactly a year to the date in that fixture when they lost 9-0 at home to Leicester City. What a turnaround! What a job Ralph has done at Southampton.
Pete, do you know what I think one of the best things I've noticed about his job there is he's actually fashioned a good use out of Che Adams. Like he's got him playing really, really well. Me and Lola were talking about this on Twitter, and I think he's used his like strength and his attributes to benefit Ings, and Ings gets more goals. And now he's contributed in the goals this season. Obviously scored at Chelsea last week. He's now scored this week. And Peter, you gave him a bit of disrespect last week on the podcast. Are you ready to take it back after his wonderful finish against Everton?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's fair.
Because and it's not to say like, you know what, he may not do it, but as in like he was really good against Everton. Everton as well though, first half, mate, they could have got a couple of goals when Sigurdsson hit the crossbar. I thought, here we go, party time. And when James was actually starting, you thought, oh well, hello then.
All right, everyone thought fantasy points. I thought, I was like, why did I take him out?
I put him on the bench. And guess what? I'm glad I did because he did.
I was like, oh, I'm happy. I was like, okay. I'm happy.
In the long run, he didn't come through. But the red card on Digne, holy
that
smokes,
ruined my
man.
fantasy team. Was that a red card, guys?
No, it wasn't. Not in my opinion.
Adrian, what do you think?
No, I think it was petulant. I wouldn't call that a red. I mean, it depends on the letter of the law, innit? Like, obviously, the law says what the law says. Like, but from what I saw, I would have deemed that as a red cardable offence. But I don't know.
I'll give a Wenger quote. It's a dark yellow, as he would say.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it is dangerous. Like, you can't trip people up. You know what I mean? Like yeah. To be fair, red is probably fair.
It's because he kept biting at it, innit? It was the challenge wasn't finishing, and he kept going for it.
Yeah, I was torn. I was very, very torn because when you watch the replay, he's literally studied him, and his foot stays there for a little while. But obviously, it was not intentional. It was not intentional.
It was an accident. It was a total accident. Hence, yellow. It was a total accident.
Yeah. Lola O said that Everton need Richarlison. His finishing is sus, but he hassles defenses. He's direct, and Iwobi doesn't do that. Fam, Iwobi was trash on Saturday. Oh my gosh.
Oh man, my guy Alex, man. My guy Alex. Listen, she
like him when he was there.
She's spot on about Richarlison, and for Alex gives you like every 3 games he does very good. So unfortunately, he couldn't cut the mustard at Arsenal. Mind you, in terms of the wingers we have, I wouldn't mind seeing him in a shirt at a minute. But yeah,
I call him the king of the second third.
Of the second third.
Yeah, like I don't know, like in transition, he's good. Like he's skillful. He knows how to beat players. But when you need that final bit, pick a pass, have a shot. It's like, bro, man, seems like he's wearing kickers on day 2 of school. Like it's like there's no real conviction. But he's sick. Like even that little cameo when he come in the derby and you saw how he sort of beat one of them was Robertson, beats 2 Liverpool players. Like there's something really, really good about Alex Iwobi, but it doesn't translate to football. It's like West Hulan. Like I know this guy's got tech, but it just don't work. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's lack of pace, Maybe it feels like explosively quick. Might be better, but.
Boss like Endo said, can we kill the narrative of Burnley away being a tough fixture? Every top 6 team has a good record there. What do you guys think about that?
Spot on, but they
have long.
No, they have to work hard. Holy smokes, you earn every penny. Let's be sure. You earn every penny. I remember Arsenal going out there scoring handballs, getting last-minute penalties. I mean, you earn your keep. I'll tell you that right there, boy. If there's ever a victory bonus that really made it worth the while, it was that one.
Yeah. Turf Moor is known to be Christian Pulisic's back garden, and we're going there next week. So look forward to that one.
It's
That
also
rent must be
Alexis
expensive.
Sanchez, but
He's
anyway.
only been there once.
He's been there once and slapped it 3 times.
Ooh.
To be fair,
Perfect
I actually every
hat-trick.
time he's been there.
Left foot, right foot header. You know what I mean?
All right.
Boss that ender also said, man said kickers, AD, you're violating. You're violating. with
No,
the-
there's no conviction. Like, what's the way? It's like he doesn't want to scuff his boots. Just lace it, man. I know you've got any.
Lastly, let's talk Leeds, Aston Villa versus Leeds, man. Flipping hell.
Patrick
Patrick
Bamford.
Bamford. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, I think you'll
I'll
find
tell
it's
you what.
Patrick Bamford.
Yeah,
Patrick
the hat-trick Bamford. That
Hat-trick
is such a
Bamford.
boxer's name.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Oh,
It is.
yeah.
But listen, before we get to Patrick Bamford, right? At 0-0, Villa should have been 2 or 3-0 up.
Yeah.
The chances that, first of all, that Grealish missed one chance, obviously cleared off the line. Then he had a second one, which was saved by the goalkeeper. And then he had one, what's it called? No, there was a header, or was it a kick from Konsa? You know, good tip save from the goalkeeper as well. I'm thinking, Villa
That
should have
kick was
actually
decent.
taken the lead. Yeah, Villa should have taken the lead.
Villa
For sure.
let the game get away from them. The first half was a very, very tight affair. You wouldn't say that Leeds had the better of it. They started strong, but then Villa came back, and it was a bit of both. But second half, Bamford showed that because he missed a couple big chances in the first half, Bamford, and I was looking at him like,
Yeah.
But Lola O says Bamford showed how good / bad he is in this game. Yeah,
Facts.
that's exactly
Yeah,
it. A tale of 2 halves, man. First half, he was just there, spooning headers and missing chances. Second half, everything he touched seemed to go in the back of the net.
He did so well to score that first goal as well. It was a very, very difficult finish to score. And he had like a little pocket in which he could put the ball in the back of the net. Brilliant. The second goal reminded me of Cristiano Ronaldo, the way it just sort of went up and down. He pinged it at one top corner, bang, straight in. And the third one, Dennis Bergkamp, take a bow. That was an unbelievable tech in the box. So,
Whoa.
what did you see the third goal?
No, I saw it, but I saw. Like, I hear what you're talking about. But I heard
you didn't see Dennis Bergkamp at Leicester?
I heard you mention Ronaldo. I heard you mention Bergkamp. But when people said Mendy had a decent game, you lost your nut. But
I'm just talking about the goal. I'm talking about
Big
the
up
goal.
Adrian.
I'm talking about the
Big
goal.
up Adrian.
Relax. I'm not saying Bamford
Big up
is
Adrian.
Ronaldo or Bergkamp. I'm
Big up
talking
Adrian.
about the goal. Oscar, shut your mouth. I'm talking about the goal.
We were talking about the saves,
Listen,
Peter. We were
listen.
talking about the saves, and you
Oh,
lost.
sorry.
it.
Were they Schmeichel? Huh? Were
Nobody
they?
said Schmeichel. Nobody
Right
said that.
then. Right.
Nobody
right.
said that, Peter.
So no
Nobody
more.
said that.
So no more. I'm just saying the goals. Techers. He's got goal of the week. One of those goals
some
has
good,
got
good
has got
variety.
goal of the week. Good variety.
I haven't even thought about that. Lola O said Harrison is a problem. This guy, Jack Harrison, he's cold, bro. He's cold.
What top assist last season in the championship? Yeah, man.
Is he still a City player?
No, he's not. He left and he went to America. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
No, he was on loan though. The New York thing, innit?
Yeah, he went to New York. I think he's a Leeds player. Somebody can double check that. I think he left City. Because I remember there was a short BBC documentary on him, and they were talking about how him and his mum had to make the decision. His mum told him to leave, and he was not on it. And then he went to America, batted it out there,
Still on loan.
came back to Bielsa ball, and Lola said, he's on loan at Leeds at the moment. But he's a good player, man, really good player.
Gosh, I tell you what, when you put money into the academy, it works, blood. Look at the kind of players City are pulling out of the bag, blood. Flipping hell. When you look at the plethora of talent they've had, in terms of young kids that have moved on and played somewhere or are playing in top divisions, like fair play.
Earlier, when we were talking about City,
Sancho are the 2 biggest ones.
Earlier, we were talking about City needing a striker, and Lola mentioned Haaland.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. By the way, Foden's goal against West Ham was superb as well. Brilliant. When he comes off the bench, bang, straight in. So big up Foden on that.
I've been tweeting today. I don't think a lot of as much noise as warranted is made about Phil Foden. He is cold, man. He's only 20 years of age. He, I want to say seamlessly, but very, very well fits into that quite complicated Pep Guardiola system. And he's just a good player. Like he's brought numbers to his game, but even outside of the numbers, he's got vision. He's got a flair about him. He's very progressive. He's very positive. Like genuinely, if it was foreign, and if he was playing for like a Liverpool or a Chelsea, even an Arsenal, Man United,
And what
the noise that'll be made about this kid.
Yeah,
And
I
was
disagree.
in England.
I
Phil Foden
disagree.
is a problem. I think
I
it's sick.
disagree. No, I think Phil Foden is great. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that part. I just think I do hear a lot of people speak about him, and I hear a lot of people talk about the fact that he needs to play more. Like people want Pep to start him every week, and obviously Pep is doing the right thing of easing him in and playing him if necessary. On against West Ham, he came on off the bench and made an instant impact. But I think he's just a good player. I think he's just a good player.
I don't.
I think good is.
Lola said Foden is king of the young bucks.
Yeah, I was saying that. You know what? When players are that young and they get played bare games, guess what? It doesn't mean they're going to be playing till they're 33, 35. You could have a Rooney situation where when they peter out early because they started so young. It's almost like the football lifespan kind of stays the same. It's just where did you start it at? Did you start at 18, 19, or did you come in your age at 22, 23?
It's like 13 years, isn't it?
So you've got to be very, very delicate with players like Phil Foden. Players of that top quality, you got to be delicate. And I think, look, Sancho, of course, he's getting the game time and whatever else, and even Haaland and these players. But when they're 29, 20, like 30 years old, we won't be seeing Jamie Vardy's in those players. We won't. I don't think we'll be having that stamina. Or maybe nutrition's got better. Maybe fitness has got a lot better.
I think the only exception we've had are two players, Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, who are still. Now I'm saying they have lasted for time, and they're still can be seen as one of the best players in the world. And I think that's
even Zlatan to a degree as well.
They weren't playing at 17 though, were they? At 17, they were.
Messi was playing young. When did Messi come into play?
He was.
Messi, give or take.
Messi's how old now? If we think about it, right?
34?
But he still had Eto'o, he still had Ronaldinho, he still had those players that were kind of still the forefront when he, like the Champions League 2006 against Arsenal. I think he came on as a sub. Like he was still new to the game. He weren't really playing a lot of football. Then Guardiola comes and said, "Hey, rude boy, your talent is ill. You're my guy." David Villa, see ya. And
Eto'o, also as well, I feel like when you sort of base the premise of your argument and your two case studies are Ronaldo and Messi, that's kind of a straw house anyway, you know what I mean?
That's why I said there's only two exceptions.
Yeah.
Because I agree with what Peter's saying, but there's only two exceptions that are...
I brought up Rooney because I thought Rooney was the one that was like amongst that conversation where
it's like you said Neymar.
Again, how old is Neymar now? Is he 28, 29 nearly?
28 now, 28, 29.
Do you know what I'm saying? And let's be honest, guys, Neymar, to me, was meant to be the next one. And I don't think he has. I don't think he did it. I don't think he did it at that level.
No.
It's Elijah suggesting Lingard.
Yes, Elijah. Yes,
Messi Lingard, yeah.
We're still waiting for that guy.
We're still waiting for him.
I think for me personally...
He's only 23, man. Give us some time.
With me personally, with Foden, I think Foden gets the exact right level of credit. Like, I think everybody knows this guy's a serious talent and he's cold, but let's just not get ahead of ourselves. Let's just not get excited. And I think because City don't have the huge fan base that we know, like if this kid played for Liverpool or United, it would be overboard. It would be mental. But it's measured. It's measured
as well. You got to look at Jack Grealish and think, my God, what are we doing? Why are we doing this to him? Let's get this guy up there. Let's move him to another club. You know what I'm saying? Let's get him at the big boys. Maybe Villa could be he could transcend them over. We doubt it. Full time at Turf Moor, by the way. Tottenham 3 points, 1-0. Doherty clean sheet for me. Son fantasy, Kane fantasy. Let's keep it. I had to salvage something.
Doherty on the bench and it's annoying me.
Who?
Doherty on the bench.
On the bench.
Jeez.
Sorry. I thought Burnley would do something here.
Right.
Lola O said Rooney started hella young, wasn't he? 16?
Yeah.
Yes, he was 16.
That's my point.
When Clive Tilsley said, "Remember the name Wayne Rooney," as he hit a rocket past David Seaman.
Yeah, and that's my point. Is that
that's exactly Peter's point.
It was at 30 years old. He played like he was Jamie Carragher right now. You know them ones. So the span in football is the same. It's just, did you start it earlier or did you start it a bit later? That's all that is.
Yeah, you got a point.
Shall we?
And even the Vardy point.
Yes.
That Vardy he spent predominantly a lot of his time like in the lower leagues, non-league. So realistically, I think he probably came to the Premier like 28. So of course he looks fresh at 30, and he doesn't even look that fresh. He's been managed well, but of course he's still sort of pulling up trees at 33 because this is maybe only his fifth, sixth year of Prem football.
This is a guy, Jaeger bomb, Red Bull, Skittles, and he still goes out there and pulls out sprints for 90 minutes straight.
And a flipping Magnum as well.
No stitches, nothing. Full burn. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, big up Vardy, man. But Oscar, player of the week.
I think I'd be very disingenuous if I gave it to anyone other than Patrick Bamford.
Patrick Bamford. David, what are you saying? You're with that?
Yeah, Patrick.
Big up. Robin?
Patrick the hat trick Bamford.
Jeez. Hey, what, AD, are you in?
Yeah, Bamford, but Zaha was cold as well, man. Yeah, he had a sick game.
Honourable mention.
The Wolf gets an honourable mention for sure. Yes, Patrick Bamford, player of the week. Goal of the week.
I think Patrick's third goal.
The Dennis Bergkamp. I'm calling it the Dennis Bergkamp. That's exactly what I'm going to call it.
What, I guess Dabu's
Well, Dabu's it's the one against what's it called? Player of the week is Peter for Tat ran earlier. Oh, nah, man. You know what it is, man. Look, a boss like United supporting a football team, man. You know, and the emotions come out. You know, they make you feel a type of way. It's because we care.
Yeah, but leave Mendy out of that.
Oh yeah, he's definitely not got the goal of the week. He nearly did though, but Patrick Bamford for the Dennis Bergkamp for me. Anyone else? Any other mentions?
It was a goal. It was a goal that went under the radar a bit. I don't know what I was doing awake at this time to see it, but in fact, you know, this game actually came on match of the day before Chelsea versus Man United, which was hilarious. But it was Tom Kearney's goal in the I think it was the Palace game actually. Tom Kearney. No, I think it was a sixth strike.
Yeah, that was a fantastic goal.
Good honourable mention. I feel sorry for Tim Kearney because he had a bit of a reputation, small reputation, but a reputation nonetheless to be something. And I feel like,
my gosh, my goal of the week is Raul Jimenez.
Oh,
it's a good goal. It is a good goal.
That was
it was a good goal. It was a good goal. I'm sorry, Dennis Bergkamp, Patrick Bamford.
That's fair.
David. Who's yours?
I would go with Bamford.
Robin.
Patrick Bamford.
That's fair.
Still Kearney,
and then Oscar went for Raul Jimenez. Okay, so listen, Patrick Bamford's on it again. Can his team get the hat trick this weekend? Who is the team of the week?
I want to stop right there.
Oh,
I'm going to say no one in England is team of the week. Because I think, and I've said this before, I think we need to branch out to Europe a little bit.
Okay.
Because one team scored 13 goals. 13 goals to nil in a league game.
At their top flight league game.
At their top flight league game. And I cannot lie. AFC Ajax is the team of the week. Without fail.
Oh my days. Ajax, you are.
It's a good shout to be fair.
No, it's not.
It's wrong. It's actually wrong. It's actually wrong.
That's inhumane.
No. Like it's not.
Well, Bertrand Traore got like 8 goal involvements in a game. What's that fantasy? Imagine you triple captain him on fantasy.
Oscar,
you could win the league just off of that.
No. Because guys, we don't give team of the week to teams who win in PL2. Yeah. We don't give team of the week to those kind of teams. Yeah?
Show some respect to the Dutch massive.
Yeah,
who did I explain? Who did I explain? Who did I explain?
Is it Venlo? Is it VV Venlo?
Is it like a triple V?
Is it V?
Oh, we don't know. Oh, we don't know.
No, we know.
I don't care. No team in a respected European league gets hit 13.
Hit for 13. Oscar,
13.
Ajax had 45 shots on goal, 23 of them on target.
It's an amateur mode of FIFA, man.
Bam! This was different level, bruv. Lassana Traore, bruv. What? He scored 5 goals?
5 goals, 3 assists.
I believe.
Fuck us, listen, from time
enough.
classic. Listen, classy until I got on the goal scoring sheet. I was like, yo, class, bro. What
No.
on, fam?
Guys,
My
they're
days.
not team of the week. They're not team of the week.
They are team of the week.
Oscar,
Someone
you're
with
a
paid
hater.
money. You
You're a
can't
hater.
win 13-0.
You're a hater.
Do you remember when? Do you remember?
Listen, Oscar, hang on, Oscar. You took 9-0 Leicester, Southampton. You took that with peace. You took that with pride. You took that in. You drank it in because it's the Premier League. Hello,
Yeah.
Excuse me. 13-0 at the top flight of Dutch football. Dutch football, which produces the likes of Ajax, PSV Eindhoven, Feyenoord. Some of your greatest players in each of our clubs are coming from the Dutch league. So let's not do this. Let's not disrespect. The Dutch league is a good league. It is a competent league. I am all for it. Ajax, Robin, you are spot on. Team of the week for me.
How do you win? How do you lose 13-0 and look at yourself in the mirror?
There's no looking.
Very, very well.
No, guys. Do you remember?
Right.
Do you guys remember
I'm a man.
Do you remember in the Women's World Cup when USA beat a team 13-0 and journalists were writing think pieces saying that they should have stopped scoring after 7 for respect for the opposition? They said they should have just packed it in and not allowed the goals to go in.
Respect the goal difference.
What's going on in competitive football?
Oscar,
if we're going out
from first to 7th place, only 5 points separate the Eredivisie. So you can't be so quick. You can't be so quick.
It's like game week 3 though, bro, man.
It's 6. It's game week 6. Game week 6.
Yeah, if we're going outside of Europe, then my team of the week. So if we're going outside of the UK and we're looking into Europe, my team of the week is Shakhtar Donetsk. I don't give a damn about what Ajax did at the weekend. Honestly,
what did Shakhtar do?
They beat Real Madrid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they beat Real Madrid 3-2 and they were 3-0 up at half time.
Pete, Arsenal doing you dirty. You're completely out of the Champions League.
He doesn't care, Adrian. He doesn't care.
Don't give a rat's backside. Don't give a monkeys, mate.
Listen, bro. I'm the kind of guy when I lost the Champions League final in 06, I didn't watch another final until Inter got there in 2010. Let's just keep it 1-0.
But yeah,
I was. Did I watch myself? Begrudgingly, yes. I had guests. I had no choice really.
But yeah, no, I don't care. I'm going abroad. AFC Ajax of Amsterdam, team of the week.
David, team of the week.
Give it to Leeds.
Leeds. Adrian.
I mean, since we're being realistic, I thought West Ham was sick, man. I know it was only a draw, but for me, that does a game and gave them very little chance.
This is a tough week, guys.
They matched City physically. Sick result for them, man.
Oscar.
Leeds United won 3-0 away from home. It's got to be Leeds for me.
See, I was going to say Leicester winning at Arsenal. I mean, that's not an easy thing to come by. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not an easy week. This was a tough week.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I changed my vote still. Therefore, Leicester. With the injuries that they've had as well. And then Brendan executed a plan, got a sick result in Leicester.
Yeah, do you know what? I changed my vote to defo Leicester, bro.
And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, Leicester are the team of the week. Ajax, you're an honourable mention. I mean, the most honourable of mentions.
The coach of the team that Ajax beat should be not that guy. That's what should happen.
David, who is not that guy this week?
I didn't really watch any football this week, but I need to give it to someone,
Come forth.
This
man.
people formed the company 30 years ago, on the 25th of March, 1990. And 91, it led to the breakaway of the old division to what we call now the Premier League.
Okay.
And to keep it short and sweet, for 3 consecutive weeks at 5:30, you've given us West Brom. Today, you gave us Brighton, West Brom. Next week, you're giving us Fulham versus West Brom. All for £15, yeah? No one
man.
West Brom
A pop.
on a Monday evening, 5:30, on from work, yeah. So Sky Sports and Sky Sports box office. You're not that guy, cuz.
Include BT Sport in that as well.
I was gonna say, do you know what? I was coming to that. Do you know what? I've got a list for BT Sport because do you know what BT Sport have been doing over the last period? We missed Villa Leeds because it was on BT Sports box office. Yeah, we missed. What other game did we miss? There was a big game that we missed as well. What Liverpool? Were you on BT?
I don't know where we was, bro. We was on pay-per-view.
No,
I thought you watched it. No, I'm joking. What's it called? BT Sport as well gave us Fulham against Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. They then gave us Sheffield United versus Fulham.
Yeah.
Sheffield United. And Oscar, I'm so sorry that you had to witness this, but they gave you Chelsea versus Southampton, and they wouldn't even let you see it on the channel that you pay for anyway. And that was a 3-3 result.
I'm disgusted.
Ladies and gentlemen, the pay-per-view situation is an absolute sog. Absolute sog.
Pete, you see the Pacquiao Mayweather cards back in what 08 or whatever, yeah? How much was it? The cards? No, how much was the cards?
I swear it's like 20 max.
Bro, that you getting prime Mayweather, prime Pacquiao, but you want me to watch Sheffield United against Fulham? 15 quid for what? It's not even like you get like a deluxe thing where it's like, oh, right, I'll tell you what, because you pay the 15 quid, you get access to the next 10 games per game.
Like you don't get backstage passes,
smoking the
behind the
stuff.
scenes.
No, but let's keep it a buck, yeah. Let's keep it a buck, yeah. Go on, Oscar.
They don't even give you like coverage. There's no like pre-match and post-match breakdown. It's just the game.
90 minutes.
All you get is 90 minutes.
Mercy.
The thing
And what
is as
happens?
well,
What?
bruv, yeah. And the thing is as well, bruv, yeah. You know when you were saying like them man take us for mugs? Nah, they think we are massive tools. Every person behind that thinks he's an idiot, she's an idiot, and he's a moron. And guess what? Man, them paid 15 quid. You don't think there was one person that didn't buy these games? They paid and bought 15 quid's worth. And even next week's fixtures, as you were saying, David, look, Burnley, Chelsea, box office, it's going to get bought. Wolves, Palace on a Friday night. So after a hard week of work, and I want to come home and unwind, yeah? 8 o'clock, what you're giving me is Wolves, Palace. A moron's going to pay for it. Spurs, Brighton, they're going to pay for it. Villa, Southampton, they're going to pay for it. Fulham, West Brom, some numpty is going to pay for that game. It is unbelievable. Unbelievable. What a time to be alive.
Can I read some of the last comments before we...
Yeah, man. Are we doing the fixtures or not?
We can do Champions League in Europe again.
Yep.
Oh, crap. I forgot all about
that. Lola O suggests Burnley, West Brom and Fulham for relegation this season.
Not Burnley. Not Burnley. They played very well today, by the way. They were unlucky.
Okay. West Brom got a point today.
The Burnley one is interesting because ultimately, I think it's ultimately going to be the straw that broke the camel's back. Because for year upon year upon year upon year upon year, Sean Dyche has just done miracle work. And these guys perennially haven't backed this man. And to the point where I think in the first sort of couple of games, they had sort of 6 formers on their bench, literally. But I think for me, the thing about Fulham, the thing about Burnley, and I'm sure Peter will agree, they've had quite a few injuries. So genuinely, I think when the players actually start coming back, it's not going to look as bad. And I think they've got enough quality in that side to move up the table. But if they were to go down on a Stoke thing, I wouldn't be shocked because it's like, how many years can you go without giving this guy money and expecting to perform miracles? Your luck's gonna run out soon. And
the truth is as well, like Burnley, I think Dyche was pissed in the summer because he was talking about like how I think he had 11 players out of contract this season or next season, and that's why you saw Hendricks just go to Newcastle. And you thought, well, when did that happen?
But
like he's vexed. He's vexed.
That's not Mbappe.
Do you remember Stephen Defoe? Where's he gone? You know what I'm saying? They've had players where they're all on their last contract, year of contract.
When we were talking about the players that start young and how far they're going to go, it's Elijah said Mason Greenwood is the next expected. He also mentioned Lukaku could go the distance.
How old is Lukaku?
Lukaku's a weird one.
28 now.
I think Lukaku's 27.
1993.
Yeah, he's 27.
Listen, bruv, he will do 27. Okay, he will do well to get to 32. He will do well. I don't think so, but he'll do well. 19, he came
He
in
started
like a
at
brick.
16, bearing in mind.
Yeah, he came like a friggin' house. I was like, who's this
Bro.
guy, bro?
Yeah.
FM 2011. Anderlecht.
Jeez.
Come on, man.
Next comment, Lola O says, Peter, stop putting Bamford and Bergkamp together.
I'm saying the goal. Just saying the goal.
Yeah. She also says, not Leicester. Them man were S. So in terms of team of the week, I don't think that's fair, Lola. I think they came to the Emirates with a game plan, and it worked. Like it worked. They literally said they were going to bring on Vardy with 20 minutes to go, and they did, and he scored. And Arsenal are rubbish. So
yeah, it's one of them. Like Leicester, you know, like the Man City win away at Etihad, and I said to you, look, the scoreline was not as it seemed. Like Man City and Leicester City game was so ridiculously open that, you know what I'm saying, and Man City just had a car crash. But the thing is, I think Leicester weren't all that. They weren't that for sure.
They weren't.
But
they weren't.
They got it done, didn't they? They got it
what
done.
They came for. They kept playing passes that weren't working. Like Tillemans had about 10 passes that were just trash. The one that was on point was the one that led to the goal, and it was smash and grab.
And for whatever reason, we never capitalized on every trash pass. It kept coming. It was coming, and then, you know what I'm saying? When they saw Mustafi come on, bro, Rodgers said, "Let me pull this leg, get that trigger, bust blood." You know what I'm saying? Because even when he scored, go on.
No, I'll say Rodgers brought on Cenk under, and he brought on Vardy, and they combined for the goal. Rodgers is player of the week.
For real. For me, that's the beauty of it. I love it. I love it when a plan comes together. I love it when a plan comes together.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Steady, because when you saw Brendan Rodgers after the goal, do you know what he went and did after Vardy scored that goal? He went to his assistant manager and he patted him on the chest because the assistant manager said, "It's time, bring him on." And then he gambled on it, and it was spot on.
Feeding time.
Yes, and do you know who that assistant manager reports to?
Vardy was licking his chops right back.
Rodgers.
Say that again, Oscar.
That assistant manager reports to Brendan Rodgers. Yeah, that's his line manager. That's who he serves. She also said Leeds were defo a better all-round team in comparison to Leicester.
I said, Villa could have been 2-0 up. And should have been 2-0 up.
First half, it was an even game. Villa could have done a bit like. So
I don't remember a shot Leeds had in the first half.
But guys, that's the beauty of the Premier League, though, isn't it? It's like back and forth, not teams winning 13-0. Gosh.
Do you know who wins 13-0? Team of the week, people. Team of the week, people.
I hear you, Robin. I hear you.
Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, for flip's sake, we're back on Arsenal again. Marley Mo has said, breaking news. Mustafi has just rejected a contract offer from Arsenal. Did you guys hear about this?
We're not offering him a new deal.
I heard that you guys offered and he rejected. That's what I heard still.
That's according to Mali Mo.
So Arteta's yellow card, yeah? It's getting darker.
No, I saw that on Twitter. Before we even came on the pod, I saw that on Twitter floating about that rumor.
It's getting frigging darker.
It's
getting darker.
Also, do you guys know that you know how like Benzema does these sick videos, yeah? And then Lloris Karius did one as well, where they just do videos of their lifestyle. Have you seen Shkodran Mustafi's one?
He's like in the open library.
Yeah, it's like he's in business meetings and stuff. I don't really understand it. Have you seen it?
That man's doing up ACN.
No, I haven't seen it. He needs to do something.
Like he's a forex trader.
If you want to laugh tonight, go on Mustafi's Twitter, click on media, and scroll down till you see this video. It should be like maybe 3 weeks ago of him just in business meetings and acting like a boss with some cool music playing. I don't really understand the purpose of it, but I'm here for the content. You get me?
Oh, he
looks like a serious guy. Like if I never knew who he was, I'd think like, no, he's a proper candidate.
Lola O said in regards to Leeds, or Villa, well, I think that's in regards to Villa. You can't say they should have done this and that because I can say Arsenal should have scored. Exactly, and that's my point. I think that's my point. Lola O also said Mustafi's a cool guy, but as a footballer, I hate him.
With capitals, raw.
Okay, we got two last comments from B Arsenal Guna, and then I think we can move on. B Arsenal Guna says, quick comments on the Northwest clubs trying to break away from the Premier League again.
It's fairly simple. American owners wanted to have so much money and not have a relegated thing like the NFL.
And
that's pretty much it.
Robert Kraft, NFL owner of the Patriots said, "Fam, I'll never buy a team in England or in the Premier League when there's a relegation that exists.
Well,
The fact that I could lose money,
you know
there's
what?
no chance."
Robert Kraft is that like, everything wrong with sport is in that statement. You're literally saying, I don't want to buy a club because they could potentially get worse. Well, yeah, that's business. The idea of buying a sports team that is solidified in a league, like an NFL team, is there's constant money being churned through you. You're never going to drop down the divisions. The whole point of the Premier League that makes it beautiful is the fact that Leeds can be out of the Premier League for 10 years and come back up and then just have a sick game against Aston Villa and win team of the week.
That's football in general. So
I hear you ask, but business.
It's American. It's an American mindset.
No, but I was going to say, Ernest, Adrian, business is why we have the Premier League. Business is why we have the Champions League. There's forms of business, like teams. If you're not good enough to be in the Champions League, then you're not there. Like when it comes to the NFL, my favorite team is the Washington football team, formerly known as the Redskins. Yeah, they don't win nothing, and they don't get relegated. Why? They should be relegated. They're rubbish.
Hey, but do you know how much owner cashes in every week, every year?
I don't know.
Minimum.
Yeah. Millions of pounds. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's a joke. That's why.
But if you're an owner, I'm not complaining about the way that they want to carry themselves and the way they want to do business. I ain't mad at it.
But
let's keep it a buck, yeah. But it's like me. I'm a football fan. I love kind of all different kinds of sports. I want to own a football club one day. But guess what? I want to keep my money right. That's for damn
well,
sure.
then you don't want to own a football club. If you're fearing relegation, then you don't want to own a football club.
Nah, you got to take it. This is the thing. The fact that you can even create this European Premier League, right? The fact that it's even being discussed even shows
20 years of not relegation.
That is a farce.
That's literally like me saying, guys, I want to start a business, but I don't want to make a loss. I don't want to take risks.
Oscar,
but then don't start a business, bro. Get a job.
No, you go to the market that you know you can control, isn't it?
But hang on, yeah. Teams that get relegated, they're actually getting killed. Like if you think about it really and truly, yeah, teams that are going down the divisions, they are dying. Because relegation exists. Hang on. Because relegations exist, these clubs are actually dying. When you think about the likes of your Boltons, your Sunderlands, your Wigans, Macclesfield Town, is it? Or whoever, Portsmouth. These clubs are actually they're decaying and dying because of relegation existing. Now, if you said to me, each of these leagues had no promotion, had no relegation, and they would stay afloat, you would be more happier than you are now regarding clubs that should survive.
No, but Pete, the fact that we are allowed to have thousands of people that are professionally employed as football clubs, like players, staff, coaching, like how many professional football teams there are in England. Like England is a small country, but how many leagues do we have that are professional? And it's because of the competitive nature that they can go up and down that it allows this financial thing to keep churning. In America, like for example, they have the NFL. What's the next thing from the NFL? What, the XFL? What are we talking about here? But if you're a decent,
was that Vince McMahon's thing?
The XFL.
Where they play the broad pants.
That's the Rock's thing now.
Yeah, the Rock, Vince McMahon, whoever owns it. What my point is, they have the NBA, and the drop off from the NBA, there's nothing there. The fact that we have the Championship, then we have League One, then we have League Two. You could be a League Two football player, and you're making a nice salary for your family. I don't want that.
Yeah, but then guess what happens? A year later, that guy who's making that nice salary for his family can't even get a salary anymore. How many times have we seen, Oscar, even in the Championship, League One, how many clubs have you heard that they're not even paying their staff, and they're having to go every week?
But that's a thing of people just loving football, so they want to play the club. And some clubs can't make it. Some clubs are not well run, fair enough. And some clubs, the circumstances are just too hard for them. So it's not even about them being example. English football is the worst example you could give in this conversation. It is the worst because it's the most ill. It's one of the most ill-managed football nations in the world. It doesn't manage its football teams properly. How many professional teams do we have in this country?
92.
And how many of them are surviving? Obviously, like pre-COVID.
The point is, look at how many. Because that's not the number to look at. The number to look at is how many are dying.
Yeah,
that's the true number.
I'm just saying the inverse. I'm just saying the inverse of that.
No, because what I'm saying is, like, out of 92, let's say 82 are doing very well. But what I'm saying is the 10 that are not doing well is a scope you've got to look at and say, no, this is troublesome. Why on earth is this happening?
If they make a Premier League where no one can advance, then you're talking about the rest of the 62 all going down with them.
What I'm saying is that, for example, I get that. But what I'm saying is, like, just like you have in the NFL, outside of the 16 teams of the NFL, or is it 32 teams? Sorry, you're not mourning for the rest. You're not mourning about anybody else that's not there.
They don't exist.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, they don't exist now. But they what happens in NFL and NBA? A guy comes from Seattle and says, you know what? There's no team. I'm going to buy the Denver Nuggets and move them to Seattle and call them the Seattle Sonics.
Exactly, and that's terrible.
So, it's terrible. I get that, but what I'm saying is your example of bringing English football into this conversation is terrible. The Americans are looking at this football and they're looking at it saying, this is not sustainable. What, even for business, like on a business scale, it's not sustainable. And on a football scale, look at how many lives are being affected. You talk about like Arsenal Football Club, making 55 people redundant is not a laugh.
Well, Peter, every business makes people redundant, bro. Every business makes people redundant.
So how can that be happening in football? How? When it's churning the money, it's churning. You're talking about billions of pounds per year, and what salaries in the 50Ks and in the 30Ks, and then I'll get made redundant. Come on.
I would much rather have that than to have 20 professional teams and the rest of you are playing Sunday League. That's air, bro. One more comment we've got is from the Arsenal Guna. Premier League, Sky Sports, and BT, etc. should learn from this podcast. Have been entertained as usual, even though I didn't pay money for it. Shout out to B Arsenal Guna, you're a legend, man.
Big up yourself, man. Big up yourself.
Yeah, man. Let's move on.
Should we do the fixtures very quickly? Just big games, yeah?
Champions League.
Champions League. So, Shakhtar Donetsk against Inter Milan. See, I didn't even know these men were even in the same group. So,
yeah, it's a tough group, you know.
They beat Real Madrid. They beat Real Madrid. And Mönchengladbach. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
That's ugly.
Ooh, that's tasty.
What are you saying? Shakhtar, Inter?
Inter, though.
The man them from Milan.
I'm going Shakhtar home win. I'm not going to lie. It will disappoint me.
The thing is, Shakhtar's entire squad was like decimated by COVID and they still bang 3.
The thing is with Shakhtar are such a regular Champions League team. Like, you know they're there until roughly around the last 16. And then they're dead.
And also, bruv, what you think? You think them Italians going to frigging Donetsk in the cold at 6 o'clock? It's going to be all day long Shakhtar business, bro.
To lose.
No, I question Shakhtar's transfer policy because
I don't
mind. How do you move from the sunny sides of Rio, Brazil, to Ukraine?
It's very simple. It's very simple. Do you know why? Because in the Ukraine, you don't need a work permit for any Brazilian player.
Nope.
Oh,
so here you go. Off you go. Whereas if you try,
Tyson and Tinho are eating.
I lie. If you try to get a friggin', so let's just say some new guy. I don't know. Give me a Brazilian, a typical Brazilian name. I don't know any Brazilian name. Something like that, right? He wants to come to Arsenal. He's 19 years old. He wants to come to Arsenal. The work permit says, "Have you got 50 games for your country?" No, I'm 19 and I'm from Brazil. Like, well, have you seen what's ahead of me? Do you know what I'm saying? There's a guy called Neymar, in case you haven't watched football anymore. But yeah, that man can just slide straight through to Shakhtar and play their football there.
Shakhtar, but yeah.
Imagine Neymar and Shakhtar.
Hilarious.
What's another fixture from that group here?
Yeah, I'm moving on. Well, the other game in that group is Mönchengladbach Real Madrid. That could go either way. Come on, Gladbach.
Gladbach at home.
Now, question. Why go for Hazard?
What do you mean? Why go for Hazard?
No, what's happening with him? Because I'm not following Madrid, so I'm just like,
he's injured. He was injured for the majority of the beginning of the season. I don't know what he's doing now. I don't keep up with it anymore. I'm done.
Oh, Eden's out of your life.
My subscription's over.
Marseille, Man City. Oh, tasty.
Oh, what, Dimitri Payet?
AVB.
City win.
AVB, bro. AVB, fam. You get me?
Manchester City win.
Oh, bro. Marseille can't have fans there, can they? So 8 o'clock kickoff. Oh, that's it.
Eden Hazard is in full big booty mode.
Them hips don't lie, fam.
Got a big booty, so I call it big booty. That's one of the greatest lines of rap history, you know. A man said yams everywhere. What the hell's going on in that scene?
Oh my
Do you know what I
days.
think about Hazard? Yeah. Do you know, like I was watching the kickoff, yeah, and they compared Eden Hazard to Gareth Bale, and they were talking about how when Bale went to Madrid, he went there and he put his head down and he did all he could to perform well, but with Hazard, he doesn't have the same desire. And I was thinking, well, that's probably because Bale never won nothing. So when Bale went there, he went there as a big signing, but he still had trophies to win. Whereas Hazard, you know, I think only thing he really wants is the Champions League.
The kickoff
Well,
was interesting on that because they were saying that there's certain players that come in and they're hungry, and then there's certain players where the hunger has been reached, like there's been quenched, or you know, they've been fulfilled when they've signed the contract.
Yeah, when they signed the
Real
contract
Madrid.
saying, "I have made it to Real Madrid."
Now I've signed to Madrid. I've made it. Sweet as that.
Yeah.
Not winning with Real Madrid.
Yeah,
no, but I'd argue that it's always been like a sweeping criticism of Hazard in his career. Even during his Chelsea days, it was always the thing where it's like, what separated him from the likes of the Messis and the Ronaldos of the world? He did have, some argue he had the potential to get there, was his lack of hunger. Like I heard there's loads of times where people were like, he didn't necessarily care about, you know, being a winner. He just cared about the beat of the game. There were times where he would literally just do skills so he can watch in a compilation of himself later. He wasn't actually too focused and concerned with winning.
It's interesting because when he decided to make his choice to go to Chelsea, do you remember there was a few clubs interested in him, right? And he said, I wanted to join the European champions. And in my mind, I was like, surely you wanted to be the guy that won it with Chelsea, not go there now that they have won it. It was a bit of a weird one for me when he joined.
Yeah, but Chelsea probably offered the most money as well. So there was that. Like he probably knew he would be taken care of there, and he was.
Yeah. I'm going Marseille home win against Man City. Because Man City were shaky against Porto as well. They got there in the end, but they were shaky.
City win.
All right, man. What other game is worthy of chat? Atalanta Ajax. You know what? I'm getting my eyes on this game. I am getting my eyes on that one. That is gold right there.
You know, Atlanta, I think they're going to be a formidable force in the future because the way they dispatched teams, like Midtjylland, they put them to bed the other day. And I know it's Midtjylland, they just got slaughtered.
Oh, they scored some nice goals, man. It was good.
And the thing, but the only thing is, watch out for Napoli in Serie A. They could be challenging for that title because they put Atalanta to the sword on the weekend. And I was like, yo, is this what's going on? Or was it the weekend before? I can't remember. But Napoli battered Atalanta. So it's going to be an interesting one, man. And I want to see these Ajax, these kids that you lot keep talking about. So I want to have a look at that still. We move it along? We're moving along?
Yeah.
Okay, Chelsea, Krasnodar. Obviously, Chelsea going to win that one. Basak Shahir, PSG. Go on, sorry.
Right.
Come on. Let's keep it moving. Come on.
Yeah, no, just saying, hope to see a start for Ziyech and Callum Hudson-Odoi. But that's it.
I'd like to see Hakim Ziyech play as well. Basak Shahir against PSG. PSG obviously started off with a defeat. They need to get some wins in that. The other game in that group, Manchester United, Leipzig. Ooh.
Again, I say this every week. I don't know what the heck's going to happen, but it's going to be hilarious.
Who's home?
Manchester United.
Oh, they're going to beat you. They're going to beat you. You guys play like the away team at home, innit? You don't come out. So, I think they'll beat you.
He has a point, though.
Oscar, do you know what's funny? I think Man United are more likely to beat Leipzig away than they are at home.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
I'm sure. Like, I think I'm more confident of us getting a result in Germany.
Yeah.
I think we'll get a draw here at best. But it all depends what they do.
At best.
Because Leipzig, I don't know. Their academy is weird because you don't know anyone that plays for Leipzig. But they're always having someone that is doing the business.
At the ready.
Do you know what's weird about Leipzig is they're a team you don't want to let play. You don't want to give them the ball. And I think United will do that.
At the same time, Juventus against Barcelona. Jeez.
Ronaldo versus Messi. Oh, is it not there?
Ronaldo. Yeah, he still got tested
COVID.
positive. So you have to wait until December.
Well, I got to wait till he goes to the new camp.
Yeah.
Barcelona win then.
Who
am I hoping on? Morata and Ramsey. Get out of there. Barcelona win.
Yeah, but you just got Messi and Ansu Fati.
Yeah, Barcelona win.
Did you see the El Clasico? Did you watch El Clasico, fam? Bro, this little, it's like a plague-stricken Real Madrid side still slapped up Barca at Nou Camp. Honestly, I don't know.
But bro, where were the real men? Like, where were the star-studded lines that blessed us? Like, what the hell was that? There was no build up.
Do you know when
Just a worry,
everyone knew when El Clasico was on? Like,
Yeah.
everyone was like, "Yep, save the date. I'm going to watch that." Fam, the timeline was quiet. No one did talk about any of it.
Robin, talk to me. Robin,
Guys,
talk to me.
in the lockdown.
When have you watched El Clasico in the daylight? Excuse me? It's a 3 o'clock kickoff. What the heck was going on here?
Can I tell you something that is so funny? Whilst the El Clasico was on, I streamed Fulham versus Crystal Palace.
He took taking a mick, mate. Taking
He
it.
fully
Absolutely.
was. I'm a witness. I declare witness. He was there, bro.
I said, I'm not watching that garbage. Let me see.
He was right there.
English football. And I loved it. I saw Zaha.
Because I took my headphone out, I said, "Yo, El Clasico is on right now. You know that, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, Fulham." I was like, "For flip's sake!" That's when you know. That's
Hey,
the
look,
life we're
It's
living.
it's finished.
You know,
La Liga is done out here.
Man, oh man.
I'm more interested in Bayern versus Dortmund.
Oof, it is what it is, bro. Okay, Europa League fixtures. Oh god, David, where are you? David, where are you? Listen, do you know what? Yeah, I look for the Europa League calendar and I'm like, there is not a game to even talk about. There's not one.
Right.
Okay,
Hey, Celtic Milan was a good game.
last week that was a good game to watch, but okay, the only real tasty one you've got is Sociedad Napoli. But even then, I'm clutching at straws, blood.
All right, can we do a quick? Who are Arsenal?
That's all right.
Arsenal
Who
playing
Arsenal
Islands Dundalk.
Oh, triple cross country.
Can we get a quick game of odds? How many mistakes
Playing
will
a bunch
Leno
of
make?
butchers.
Leno won't play. So
Leno won't play.
I'll get Renarson in goal.
Are
Come
you
on.
sure? Because Renarson hasn't played a ball for Arsenal
Yeah,
yet.
I know. I don't know why. He won't make any
Robin,
mistakes.
how many Leno mistakes you got? Peter's got none. How many have you got, Robin?
It'll be funny. I'll say one.
I'll
I know
say
Arsenal
one.
concede. That's the funny thing.
David,
I know
what are you
Arsenal's
saying?
gonna concede.
Leno mistakes? What are you saying?
Arsenal is going to concede. Like you conceded last week Thursday, and I was like, this can't be happening.
I'm gonna go.
Interested in the league, so leave me alone, bruv.
I'm gonna go over 1.5. That's my bet for Leno mistakes.
Over 1.5. You're such
You know,
a scumbag.
you know why I have to rub this in? Because last week I literally said he makes mistakes, and then in the Europa League he made about 3 and cost you a goal. Yeah, come on, guys.
And some people blamed him for the goal against Leicester.
I'm not that shameless.
Anyway, thanks for watching.
Yeah, man. Honestly, yeah. Big up everyone that's locked in today. Oscar, I can't see the comments. So if you don't mind shouting out all the people that we've had, obviously at Top 4 Podcast on the Twitter, on the YouTube, on the SoundCloud, on iTunes as well. You done know the MySpace, bro. Remember MySpace? Yeah.
Oh,
but yeah,
my
big up all the crew.
Shout out everyone. Lola who said Arsenal United will be the usual draw, either 0-0 or 1-0, and I agree. The Arsenal Gooner said 7-0 Arsenal. I guess that means you're going to lose 7-0? Or
No. Against
Dundalk.
Against Dundalk.
Yeah. Well, it better be 7-0 against them.
Are you mind going to the River Stadium? That's a nice stadium still.
To the where?
What? Dundalk don't sell that out.
The River Stadium in Dublin.
Arriva.
But is that their home stadium, or they're just doing it for
No,
Europe?
I think that's for Europe because
it has to be.
They need that UEFA regulations. They can't just play at any ground.
The original stadium is probably like 4,700.
Yeah, it was like Sutton's ground, bro.
Yeah. But it's beautiful that a team of that level can join a Europa League and play a team like Arsenal. That's what our system offers.
Biggest game of the year for them.
Yeah.
They got the island crew, man. It would have been sick to go there away, to be fair. That would have been a nice trip.
Okay, last
comment. You're trying to get hammered, bro.
No, I'm straight on the Irish Guinness. You know what I'm saying? Straight from the port. You know what I'm saying? Straight out of the port.
They'll drink you under a table, mate.
Oh, mate, I'm not challenging. Are you mad?
Flipping Seamus.
1 pint, I'm out, blood. You know what I'm saying?
Seamus and Tom. Yeah, you don't want it, bro.
Man said
what? Finley and them man there, bro. Nah, man. Anyone called Paddy, I don't want none. I don't want none. Of it,
Paddy McGuinness and Brona. Yeah, on it, man.
Woo.
Lola O said, same Oscar, I wanted to watch Lookman. So she also skipped the El Clasico to watch Fulham versus.
Yeah, Lookman's her guy, though, isn't it? Lookman's her guy.
Yeah, he wasn't really hitting. He was causing problems, but not really hitting.
But Mitrovic was smelling as well again, bro. I have to take him out my fantasy, man.
Did you see Batshuayi's tweet?
What was he tweeting?
Two games in a row, he scored 2 goals, both of them offside, unfortunately. Can I count those in the 10?
No,
His finish last week was nice.
Nah, you can't count this in the 10.
Yeah, Adrian, you're right. His finish last week was fantastic. Unfortunately, he was offside.
First of all,
I can't remember this week's one.
Batshuayi's still not getting 10. Martial's not getting 20 in the league. So let's just pay me my money now. Just pay me the money now.
You didn't show no money.
Oh,
are we done?
Actually, lads.
Yeah, we're done. We're done.
All right, we're done. What's up, Adrian?
There was a slight convo. Like, I don't want this to drag out too long, yeah? Like, there was a slight convo I sort of heard, and it sort of reared his ugly head again when Depay sort of showed his solidarity to Virgil van Dijk. What's the big deal? Am I missing something?
The man never acting like he's gone to heaven.
Yeah, like
wait. Do you know what a torn ACL is?
No.
Obviously, never torn one.
For me, the Memphis message, I got no problems with that because that's his guy, national team. He's in a different league, all that stuff. My problem is that everyone, since he's torn that ACL, I've seen something from the Liverpool Echo talking about, we're going to make this like this from funeral service is going to happen. The whole streets of Liverpool going to be parading, putting signs up. And I'm just like, guys, calm down. It is an ACL. It's bad, yes, but he's not dead.
Did he die?
He's not dead.
Did he die?
Hang on a minute. I'm even. I don't know if I'm capping or not, but let's grab a hold of reality and take it for a spin here. This is a serious career-altering injury. It's history defining in Liverpool sense. Why can't they mourn? What the hell's the matter?
Wait.
When Mendy was out, City had t-shirts. Liverpool didn't have a t-shirt, by the way. Like Arsenal fans still go on about injuries that happened 12 years ago, and I accept it because there were horrible things to happen.
Oh,
but I can't be upset that Van Dijk's out for 8 months. Best case scenario. What the hell's going on there?
Van Dijk is out for 8 months. I shan't be.
Best case scenario.
I'm not seeing Mandem dress up in black suits going to church on a Sunday like it's a service. That's what it's
Nobody's done that. The heck?
No, but Adrian, you used the word mourn. Like you said mourn. Bro.
No, Oscar, when you've lost your top players, yeah, and they've gone out for Lola, I'm not gonna lie. I'm surprised you don't feel the simp. Where's the sympathy, fam? We've had top players go out for 6 to 9 months on ACLs.
I think everybody understands a bit more. Everybody's a bit more sympathetic when it's a leg break. You know, when you see the bone break and you're like, oh,
what's the difference?
Nobody wants that. But an ACL.
Do you remember the challenge? It couldn't have been a leg break.
Eduardo.
My goodness.
What challenge?
The challenge on Van Dijk. He could have snapped his leg.
It wasn't. He didn't even give a card for it. The rest didn't even give a card for it. It can't have been that bad.
I'm surprised he didn't.
He's offside.
I'm joking.
Look, all I'm going to say to you, man, if you lost Lampard in his full prime, in his full pump, Thierry Henry in his full pump, it's the exact same principle. Yes, and I'm not even capping.
When Keane went out for a year straight, we won the double. I remember. I won't forget that. I'll never forget that. That's how we won our first double. Keane was injured. Done. See ya. You know what I'm saying? So
I just had to get off my chest anyway.
The man's not dead. That's the point. It's like it's been a week and a bit now. He's out. You're telling
a week of a bit of 9 months.
You're telling man to get over Ozil. We're telling you, right, he's out. Move on.
Huh? Is this what? Hang on a minute. Brother, what? Is this the same as the Ozil thing? It's completely different.
Man's not in the team. Van Dijk will return.
Liverpool want to play him.
Listen, I've lost my mind. It's spread over my head here. I don't think you know what 8 months is.
You know, like, he's coming back. Like, he's not done.
The Arsenal Green, I said, I have to agree with AD. When he comes back, he won't be the old VVD. Do you know what? Yeah, no one was happy. Like, everybody wanted retribution for what I keep using the word retribution for what Jordan Pickford did. Everyone was annoyed, but I think Liverpool fans over the past 18 months have really got under a lot of people's skin with their incessant just harping on about Liverpool 24/7, and I think this is just the tip of the iceberg, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those, bro. It's a heartbreaking situation, man. I'm gutted for Adrian still. I've been there. I felt it, bro. I felt the pain. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Guys,
we move, but we could be upset as well.
100%.
I want to be at the funeral service. I want to see if he's actually dead, and then I'll be cool.
Oh
I'll be
my
mourning.
gosh!
Listen,
Wait, Robin, what? I don't understand. What do you expect Liverpool fans to do? Tell me, what's the appropriate reaction to a best player?
Be sad about it. Be sad about it. I'm not saying you can't be sad about it. But I'm saying you're acting like he's gone to heaven. I'm seeing speeches like on Sky Sports, like he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Brother, he's just out for a few months. He'll be back next season. We've all had players injured. I've seen players break bones. Yeah. He'll be back.
Who? Alan Smith.
Alan Smith. I'm talking about Eduardo when he got kicked in the shin. I've seen.
But it's not, man,
listen. Let's not conflate and let's not go for a beat.
They weren't a Man United player. Listen, let's wrap this shambles.
Let's not conflate. Let's not cap.
Oh my god!
Thank you, Lola. Don't get me wrong. I'm sorry he's out. I really am. But the brother's not dead.
Liverpool
can
at home. Liverpool can.
I don't understand.
We should. I have understanding. Don't worry, Adrian. I have understanding with you, bro. I've seen my
can't
players
mourn.
go.
Do you know what mourning means, bro?
Do you know why, bro? Because they could lose the league this season for the simple fact Virgil van Dijk is out. Simply.
Okay,
So,
I've just googled the definition of mourn. Yeah, to feel
God.
or show sorrow for the death of someone. The death, typically,
Essential death of title holders.
Typically following conventions such as wearing black clothes. Are you wearing black clothes for VVD right now?
I should have been. I'm wearing the opposite right. Should have been.
I lie. We need
good night, people. Good night. Like the video for us, please.
Yeah, share, like, subscribe. You don't know the page already, and we'll be back next Monday when Arsenal laid a smackdown on Manchester United at Old Trafford. Yeah, right. Peace.